Chapter 021 This feud is irreconcilable. In the 10th month, you finally learned the whereabouts of the spiritual fire from an inner sect elder you were on good terms with. It is enshrined in the small world of Zeun sect and is guarded by Zeun Patriarch himself. This news makes you feel a chill in your heart. The cultivation level of the Purple Cloud Patriarch is unfathomable. Trying to take the spiritual fire from him is like pulling teeth out of a tiger's mouth. In the 11th month, you thought again and again and decided to give up the idea of stealing the spiritual fire. You used the sect contribution points and spirit stones you had accumulated over the past few months to exchange for a chance to meet with Patriarch Zeun. When you saw Patriarch Zeun, he was sitting cross-legged in the cave of the small world. There is a purple flame emitting a terrifying aura floating beside you, which is the spiritual fire you have been searching for. You understand that with your current strength, it is impossible to subdue this spiritual fire. So, you took out the alchemy furnace of the alchemy master and respectfully asked the purple cloud ancestor to help remove the remaining consciousness of the alchemy master on the furnace. Seeing your sincere attitude and your high price, Ancestor Zeun wiped out the divine consciousness on the alchemy furnace. In the 12th month, you realized that it was meaningless to stay in Zeun sect, so you quietly left the section. Without the restraint of the alchemy master's consciousness, the alchemy furnace completely becomes yours. You begin to study the alchemy formula and refine the alchemy furnace. In the first year and 3 months, you traveled to a place called Fengling sect and accidentally heard some news about Xiao Han, which made you feel moved. It turns out that Nalan Yan, the saint of Fengling sect, broke off her engagement with a good-for-nothing from the Xiao family named Xiao Han a few years ago. Both parties agreed to fight a war in 30 years. This news surprised you greatly, because you know that Xiao Han is a genius who will dominate the world in the future. In the first year and 5 months, the demonic ghost spirit sect suddenly launched a large-scale attack on the various sects of the immortal path, and many towns and small forces were affected. The Fengling sect was also attacked and organized a defensive force to resist. You joined the Wind Spirit sect as a casual cultivator and participated in the battle against the Ghost Spirit sect. You practiced and fought against demons while defending the way. You have fought hundreds of wars, both large and small, and have accumulated a wealth of combat experience. 5 years later, you have finally broken through to the 4th level of the foundation building stage by relying on the combat skills you have honed in actual combat and your continuous improvement in cultivation. You have long lost your youthfulness, and your every move exudes a mature and steady aura. In the 6th year, due to your outstanding achievements and leadership skills, you are officially recruited by the Fengling sect. He became an elder of the Outer Sects War Pavilion, mainly responsible for Fengling sect's external war affairs. You gradually learn that the leader of Fengling sect is named Lang Yu, a Jindan-level cultivator with unfathomable strength. In addition, Fengling sect also has a mysterious ancestor whose strength is unknown. But according to your observation and speculation, the opponent's strength is at least at the nascent soul stage. The aptitude of the Holy Maiden of the Wind Spirit sect, Nalan Yan, is mediocre and she has just established her foundation not long ago. This makes you feel extremely surprised. With such talent, compared with the peerless genius Xiao Han who would later dominate the world, he was a million miles away. You can't help but sigh, how can Nalan Yan have the nerve to regret the engagement? Time flies, and 10 years have passed in the blink of an eye. You heard that a world-shattering war broke out in Zeun sect. Ancestor Zeun was seriously injured, and the spiritual fire he was guarding was stolen by Xiao Han and a mysterious person. It is said that this battle even brought out a hidden Grand Elder of the Purple Cloud sect, whose strength is unfathomable. This news shocked you greatly. You didn't expect that the Purple Cloud Patriarch was not even the strongest Fighter of the Purple Cloud Sect. The Purple Cloud Sect's foundation is even deeper than you imagined. In the 11th year, you practiced hard and finally broke through to the 5th level of foundation building. At the same time, you also completely refined the Danzun's alchemy furnace. The success rate of refining the soul gathering pill has increased to 60%, and the success rate of refining the yellow dragon pill has reached 100%. You gradually gained a firm foothold in the Fengling sect and became an indispensable pillar of the section. In the 18th year, Fengling sect leader Lang Yu was trapped in Qipping Mountain by Guiling sect while on a mission. You were ordered to lead the disciples of Fengling sect to rescue them. However, you were ambushed by the enemy, and all 80 rescue disciples died in the battle. At the moment of life and death, the rage in your heart burns fiercely, and flames rise from your whole body. The terrifying flames instantly swept across the entire Qipping Mountain, reducing everything around it to ashes. Your sudden outburst caught the demon monk off guard, and before he died, he sprinkled a handful of unknown powder on the unconscious Lang Yu. Only you and Sect Master Lang Yu are left in the entire Qipping Mountain. After she woke up, her eyes were blurry, her behavior was strange, and she suddenly clung to you. Under the influence of drugs and some kind of power, something happened to you. Afterwards, you were surprised to find that you had broken through to the 6th level of foundation building, and the true essence in your body became even purer and more powerful. Lang Yu has a complicated expression, and tells you not to spread the matter outside. He also promotes you to the position of inner sect elder, responsible for the sect's core affairs. In the 20th year, you heard that a genius named Lin Hao suddenly appeared, and this name made you feel strangely familiar. After much inquiry, you are pleasantly surprised to find that Lin Hao is actually from the Longdi Lin family. And he is your cousin. At this time, Lin Hao was in the limelight and was hailed as the new generation leader of demon slayers. It was said that he had his own power behind him. You couldn't hold back your excitement, and after much deliberation, you decided to join Lin Hao. Firstly, you and your cousin are related by blood, so you should support each other. Secondly, Fengling sect is not an absolutely safe place. Xiao Han and Nalan Yan's 30-year period is coming to an end. When the two sides fight, I'm afraid you will be affected. After weighing the pros and cons, you decide to find a safer haven in advance. In the 21st year, you arranged the sect's affairs and quietly left Fengling sect. Before leaving, you find Lang Yu and tell her carefully. Xiao Han is now a Jindan stage cultivator, and has a master with unfathomable strength behind him. The 30-year period is approaching, and Fengling sect may be in danger. You should ask her to prepare early. After hearing what you said, Lang Yu's eyes flashed with worry, but more of it was resentment for your leaving. You feel a little reluctant, but you also understand that the only way to protect yourself is to improve your strength as quickly as possible, so you finally leave resolutely. In the 22nd year, you return to Longdi after a long absence. The familiar local accent and scenery made you feel at home. After many twists and turns, you finally met your world-famous cousin Lin Hao. At this moment, he was dignified and radiated the powerful pressure of a Jindan stage cultivator. You are already the first ancestor of the Lin family to achieve the Jindan stage in nearly 10,000 years. And you can't help but feel a surge of pride in your heart. You excitedly state your identity and purpose, looking forward to fighting side by side with this blood-related cousin and creating brilliance together. However, your enthusiasm was extinguished by a basin of cold water. When Lin Hao heard your name, his expression suddenly changed, and his eyes flashed with cold murderous intent. Before you can react, he appears in front of you like a ghost. A hand like an iron clamp grips your throat, almost suffocating you. You asked him in horror why he wanted to kill his brother. Lin Hao gritted his teeth and told you word by word. In order to let you have spiritual roots, your mother used a secret technique to dig out his spiritual roots. This hatred is irreconcilable. He told you that after his spiritual roots were dug out, he reawakened his spiritual roots with amazing perseverance. You feel like you were struck by lightning, your mind goes blank, and you find it hard to believe this sudden accusation. However, the hatred in Lin Hao's eyes is so real that you have to believe this cruel fact. Anger and resentment surge in your heart. You try your best to activate your true essence. The flames burn the sky, enveloping the entire Longdi Lin family in a sea of fire. You and Lin Hao fought a desperate battle, but his powerful physical cultivation level made it impossible for you to hurt him at all. Finally, you fell in the raging fire, ending this life full of twists and turns with endless regrets and unwillingness. This simulation ends. Start calculating this reward. In this simulation, you have raised your strength to the 6th level of foundation building. You can get one of the following rewards. 1. 6th level of foundation building strength. 2. The alchemy furnace of the alchemy master that has been refined. 3. This simulation experience. Number of simulations remaining, 6. After the simulation, Lin Yi slumped down on the futon. This damn simulation is getting more and more despairing. Lin Yi gritted his teeth and cursed. The content of the simulation just now kept appearing in his mind. He never imagined that his original body's mother would dig out Lin Hao's spiritual roots in order to allow his original body to have spiritual roots. Heavenly spiritual roots, why are my spiritual roots so poor? Could it be that the transplant failed? Or maybe only part of the spiritual roots were transplanted? Lin Yi muttered to himself, feeling mixed emotions. He originally thought that he and Lin Hao had the same roots. We can work together. But I didn't expect the truth to be so cruel. Chapter 022, You dare to steal my ancestor's tomb? Have I traveled through time and space to inherit hatred? Lin Yi smiled self-deprecatingly, feeling a sense of absurdity. This reminded him of a melodramatic online novel he had read in his previous life, the plot of which was surprisingly similar to his own experience. The original owner's mother dug out her brother's supreme bone, and in the end her brother awakened the supreme bone. The two sides turned against each other and killed each other. Now it seems that I am the unlucky brother in this plot. What's worse is that he is also charged with the crime of killing his master. The lingering ghost of Dan Zun and his good junior brother Xiao Han may come and claim his life at any time. There are wolves in front and tigers behind. There is absolutely no way for us to survive. Lin Yi scratched his hair irritably. As his thoughts were in a mess, Lin Yi began to think about other problems encountered in the simulation. The spiritual fire of Ziyun sect is the key to improving his spiritual roots, but obtaining it is as difficult as ascending to heaven. There is an ancestor in Ziyun sect guarding the spiritual fire. For him, a young cultivator in the foundation building stage, trying to snatch it by force would be like hitting a rock with an egg. He must find another way or find another opportunity in the next simulation. Perhaps, we can consider starting with Fatty, the one who dug up the ancestral tomb of Ziyun sect. As for Nalan Yan from Fengling sect, Lin Yi thought she was simply stupid. Competing with Xiao Han 30 years later, isn't this like lighting a lamp in a toilet, courting death? When the 30-year period was up, Xiao Han brought Dan Zun to attack the door. The Fengling sect will probably be reduced to ashes, and who knows, I might be able to get some benefits by then. Forget it, don't think about it anymore, it's more important to improve your strength first. Lin Yi shook his head and put his messy thoughts behind him. He looked at the reward options in front of him and for the first time he felt a rare dilemma, especially when it came to the Dan Zun's alchemy furnace. Now he was holding a Dan Zun's alchemy furnace in his hand, but another simulator appeared. Could there be two more? Lin Yi was extremely surprised. Note, the alchemist has only one furnace. If you receive an already refined furnace, the furnace in your hand will be refined automatically, and there will not be two. I see. It would be great if we could have two. Lin Yi touched his chin and smiled evilly. When Medicine Master comes to ask for the alchemy furnace, take out two and place them in front of him. You foolish alchemy master, do you want the alchemy furnace that I have refined, or the one that I have not refined? By then, even Medicine Master would be confused. After thinking about it, he finally chose one. 6th level of foundation building strength as the reward. A powerful force instantly surged into his body, the true energy in his dantian rapidly grew, and his meridians became tougher and wider. He clenched his fists, feeling the surging power in his body, a smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. Strength is the capital for survival. As for the alchemy furnace of Master Dan, it can indeed solve the current troubles. When Xiao Han and Dan Zun come knocking on the door 3 months later, it will be hard to say who will live and who will die. With his current level of advancement, it is really hard to say what level he will reach in 3 months. Lin Yi was thinking about it, but at the moment, the spiritual fire was still the top priority. The strength of the Grand Elder of Ziyun sect is absolutely unfathomable. A bold idea emerged in his mind. If in the next simulation, he chooses to stay in Ziyun sect. After gaining everyone's trust, he revealed Xiao Han and Dan Zun's conspiracy. Perhaps we can borrow the power of Ziyun sect to fight against powerful enemies. If it really doesn't work, he can also climb up step by step from the bottom of Ziyun sect. Anyway, there is plenty of time in the simulator and he can try slowly. If he could become a high-ranking member of the Ziyun sect, or even the sect master, then wouldn't the spiritual fire be easily within his grasp? Of course, the best strategy is to advance on both ends, and the line of Fat Druid cannot be abandoned. Perhaps we can take advantage of Pangda's knowledge of Ziyun sect and work together from inside and outside to seize the spiritual fire. Thinking of this, a gleam of light flashed in Lin Yi's eyes. This time in simulation, he's going to go big. Continue the simulation. Simulation begins. Number of simulations remaining, 5. On the first day, you left the bustling meteorite market and flew towards the purple cloud sect on your sword. 10 days later, you found a secluded courtyard in the market at the foot of Ziyun sect mountain and settled down temporarily. You spent 10,000 spirit stones to purchase a low-grade spirit tool level alchemy furnace, and began to purchase spirit medicines for refining Zhenyuan pills and Juling pills in the market. In the first month, you concentrate on refining pills, on the one hand to earn spirit stones, on the other hand to find out the news about Fatty. In the second month, you still make and sell pills in the market. Your pills are in short supply and attract more and more monks to patronize. In the third month, your fame rose rapidly, even alarming an elder of Ziyun sect, Mu Chongfeng. Mu Chongfeng greatly appreciated the elixir you made and came to visit you in person. He saw that you were neither humble nor overbearing, and the elixirs you refined were quite impressive, so he started chatting with you. Before leaving, Mu Chongfeng bought some medicinal pills. In the third month, your relationship with Mu Chongfeng gradually became closer. Every time he comes to buy pills, he will have a conversation with you. In the fourth month, your elixirs have become famous in the market, attracting more and more customers. And your business is getting better and better. You still maintain a low-key style, concentrate on refining pills, and improve your strength. In the fifth month, you begin to try to refine some other elixirs. In the sixth month, Mu Chongfeng came to your shop again. This time he brought with him an inner sect elder of the Purple Cloud sect, Li Yuanqing. Li Yuanqing praised the elixir you made. He has invited you, hoping that you can join the inner sect of Zeun sect and become the deacon of the inner sect's alchemy pavilion. You are secretly happy in your heart, but pretend to be hesitant on the surface, saying that you are used to a free and easy life and don't want to be restricted by the sect. Li Yuanqing saw this and did not force it, but just said that the inner sect of Zeun sect is rich in resources. It will help you improve your alchemy skills, and we promise to give you generous treatment and a free alchemy environment. You pretended to ponder for a moment, and finally reluctantly accepted Li Yuanqing's invitation. In the 7th month, you officially joined the inner sect of Zeun sect and became the deacon of the inner sect's alchemy pavilion. You kept a low profile and devoted yourself to refining pills, and soon won the recognition of the inner disciples and elders. You discovered that Zeun sect's alchemy resources are indeed rich, with all kinds of rare and precious spiritual medicines, which greatly improves your alchemy efficiency. At the same time, you also begin to come into contact with some more advanced alchemy techniques and recipes, and your alchemy skills improve by leaps and bounds. In the 9th month, you stay at home and concentrate on studying alchemy. Occasionally, I would take on some sect missions and refine some high-level elixirs in exchange for contribution points and spirit stones. In the 11th month, you used the sect contribution points and spirit stones you had accumulated over the past few months to exchange for an opportunity to meet with Ancestor Zeun. When you saw Patriarch Zeun, he was sitting cross-legged in a cave. There was a purple flame floating beside him that exuded a terrifying aura. It was the purple cloud sect's treasure, the spiritual fire. Take out the alchemy furnace you got from the alchemy master, and respectfully ask the purple cloud Patriarch to help you remove the remaining alchemy master's spiritual consciousness on the furnace. You explained that this alchemy furnace has an extraordinary origin, and you hope to refine it so that it can better serve the section. Seeing your sincere attitude and your high price, Ancestor Zeun wiped out the divine consciousness on the alchemy furnace. In the 12th month, without the restraint of the alchemy master's consciousness, the alchemy furnace completely becomes yours. You begin to study the alchemy formula and refine the alchemy furnace. In the 1st year and 3 months, you finally found out about Fat DS news. After you find Fatty, grab him and tell him that he robbed the tomb of the founder of the Purple Cloud sect. Fatda turned pale with fear and denied it repeatedly. You said you sensed the aura of the ancestor's shroud on the other person. Pangda knew that the truth had been revealed and he rose up to resist. He summoned his flying sword and several defensive talismans appeared on his body. Although Fatty is only at the 8th level of foundation building, he has many magical weapons and spiritual weapons, which makes you feel more pressured. However, he is also very afraid of your lava fire. While you were fighting fiercely, several elders of the Purple Cloud sect arrived. Seeing you fighting against outsiders, they immediately joined the battle and surrounded Fatty. Pangda was outnumbered and was eventually subdued by you. In front of your fellow disciples of the Purple Cloud sect, you did not expose Fatty's tomb-robbing behavior, but only said it was a personal grudge. After being subdued, Fat Druid is powerless to resist and can only let you do whatever you want. Chapter 23, Heavenly Sword Lord. Under your series of great memory recovery techniques, Fat Decay admitted that he had a forbidden bead that could break some restrictions and formations. With this, one can sneak into some sects to steal elixirs and dig up ancestral graves. He also told you that he had been to many sects' forbidden areas, such as Dan Pavilion, and even the Ghost Spirit sect. He didn't expect that he would be caught by you just after digging a grave in Zeun sect. Ask Fatda if he can let you see this forbidden bead. The other party tells you that the forbidden bead is a rare treasure of heaven and earth, and it is inseparable from his life. Even if he is killed, the bead will be destroyed. In front of the simulator, Lin Yi was simply stunned. I sigh that we should not underestimate the people in the world. Just like this fat druid, his strength is only at the foundation building stage. But he can come and go freely in all major sects. Even the Ghost Spirit Lord dares to go. You must know that the Ghost Spirit sect dared to invade the immortal path with its own strength. Thinking of this, he continued to look at the simulator. While you are holding Fatty prisoner, you are searching in the Sutra library. Soon after, you found a secret book called Soul Control Technique that can control others. Once controlled, the other party cannot resist and will only obey you wholeheartedly from then on. You use this method on Fat Druid, and he will obey you. You secretly sent Fat Da to do something. Spread rumors. Not long after, a major event spread from Ziyun sect. It was said that a man named Xiao Han and a man named Danzun had teamed up to dig up the ancestral tomb of Ziyun sect. This matter has become the top priority of the Ziyun sect. It is said that even the Ziyun patriarch has been alarmed. The sect has issued a mission and a high reward to find the whereabouts of the two. You volunteered yourself, saying that this matter concerns the survival of the Purple Cloud sect, and requested to meet with the Purple Cloud Patriarch. The matter was reported to higher levels and finally reached the ears of Ziyun Patriarch. He met you again and asked you why you said this matter concerns the life and death of Ziyun sect. You pretended to be profound, saying that you had met Xiao Han and Danzun. They are related to the Ghost Spirit sect and have been searching for the world's spiritual fire. He attempted to revive the Ghost Spirit sect's ancestor and overturn the order of the immortal cultivation world. And according to your guess, in 1 or 2 months at most, the Ghost Spirit sect will launch an invasion on the Xiandao market and small and medium-sized sects. By then, all lives will be lost, and the Purple Cloud sect will not be able to remain unscathed. After hearing this, Ziyun Patriarch was horrified and asked if you were talking nonsense. You said firmly that time will tell. Ancestor Ziyun looks solemn, and then takes you to a secret place in the center of Ziyun sect's small world. There is an ancient tomb there, and Patriarch Ziyun pays respect to it. After a while, the grave mound bulged and split open, a coffin flew out, and an old man who was about to die slowly walked out of the coffin. Ancestor Ziyun respectfully calls the old man Uncle Master, and you immediately understand. This old man is likely the source of the Purple Cloud sect's foundation, so he quickly saluted. The old man said that unless it concerns the life and death of the sect, he should not be disturbed in his meditation. Ancestor Ziyun did not dare to neglect and immediately told the old man everything you said. After hearing this, the old man was also extremely shocked. A gleam of light flashed across his cloudy eyes. Then it turned into a stream of light and flew out of the Purple Cloud sect's small world, disappearing to an unknown destination. You stand there trembling, feeling uneasy, and thinking about how to get out of this situation. It is true that the Ghost Spirit sect invaded, but the rest is all your fabrication. Seeing this, the Purple Cloud ancestor comforted you and said there was no need to panic. The one who flew out was the Heavenly Sword Divine Lord, the only ancestor of the Purple Cloud sect who was in the spiritualization stage. This sentence makes you even more panicked. You didn't expect that such a simple calculation would involve such a big figure as the God transformation stage. Half a day later, Heavenly Sword Divine Lord returned with a gloomy face and said nothing. You thought he was going to attack you, and you were terrified and turned to run away. But he also knew that running away was futile in front of nascent soul and spiritualization cultivators. The Heavenly Sword God ordered the Purple Cloud Patriarch, have the sect step up its defenses. The Ghost Spirit sect will be approaching soon. Order the disciples to prepare to eliminate the demons and defend the way immediately. Then he turns to you and asks who your teacher is. You said you were a casual cultivator, and were taken in by the Purple Cloud sect, allowing you to cultivate. The Lord of Heavenly Sword nodded slightly and said that you had made an invaluable contribution by giving the warning in advance. He sees that you have good aptitude and asks if you are willing to be his disciple. Ancestor Zeun was shocked when he heard this, and quickly said that the heavenly sword divine lord had never accepted a disciple, and asked you to become his disciple as soon as possible. You were overjoyed. How could you not embrace a master in the spiritual transformation stage? You immediately became his disciple. After becoming your disciple, the heavenly sword god will give you a top-grade spiritual flying sword, named Purple Sky. He also taught you his unique skill, the heavenly sword technique, and told you to practice diligently and not slack off. You have become the only disciple of the heavenly sword lord, and your status and position have risen rapidly. He is of the same generation as Zeun Patriarch and has a very high seniority in the entire Zeun sect. When you walk on the road, the people you meet are either your disciples or your disciples' disciples. Disciples, which makes you feel a little uncomfortable. You live in seclusion, concentrate on practicing the heavenly sword technique, and practice swordsmanship in the back mountain of Zeun Peak every day. The sword light is like a rainbow, and the momentum is magnificent. The Purple Cloud sect has been preparing for war urgently, adding manpower to many of its towns and cities and strengthening its defensive formations. 1 year and 5 months later, the demonic ghost spirit sect suddenly launched an invasion, and many immortal markets and small and medium-sized forces suffered a devastating disaster. Due to advanced precautions, many markets of Zeun sect were temporarily preserved. However, in order to fight against the ghost spirit sect, the sect also sent many disciples to participate in the battle, and many outer sect elders volunteered to go to the front line. You know very well that your plan is difficult, so you take the initiative to ask to join the fight against the ghost spirit sect. At first, both Zeun Patriarch and Tianjian Divine Lord disagreed, fearing for your safety. But you were determined and finally convinced them. You bid farewell to the heavenly sword god and joined the immortal army to fight against the ghost spirit sect. On the battlefield, you hold the purple sky sword in your hand, unleash the heavenly sword technique, and your sword energy is overwhelming, making you invincible. You are brave and fearless, and you killed countless ghost spirit sect demon cultivators. You soon made great military achievements and became a rising star in the Immortal Alliance. In the first year and 8 months, both the immortals and the demons were extremely furious. Because in the past 6 months, there has been a casual cultivator named Xiao Han who has been digging up people's ancestral graves everywhere, causing disaster to many sects. It is said that even the ghost spirit sect has issued a huge reward, determined to catch this person. Lastly, it was reported that Xiao Han came from Wuyutan town, a small family with the surname Xiao. Then, this family was destroyed by the angry immortals and demons. Some even said that they had met Xiao Han, and that he, who was in the Jindan stage, had never been able to defeat him. Some even said that this Xiao Han had a big boss behind him, and that he was an excellent runner. This makes more people believe that Xiao Han is definitely a grave digger, because without the right skills, it is impossible to do such a thing. In the 2nd year, you have joined the Purple Cloud sect for more than a year. You have been working diligently, fighting demons and defending the Dao while refining elixirs to supply your sect. This makes everyone in the sect very grateful to you. In the 3rd year, you began to quietly collect information about Xiao Han. And in the battle with the ghost spirit sect, he intentionally or unintentionally guided public opinion. Xiao Han was portrayed as an evil demon who was unforgivable and deserved to be killed by everyone. You secretly spread the news, implying that Xiao Han was colluding with the ghost spirit sect, and that the stolen treasures all went to the ghost spirit sect, in order to arouse the anger of the various sects of the Immortal Dao. Under your planning, Xiao Han and Dan Zun have become the rats that everyone in the Immortal and Demon worlds wants to kill. In the 4th year, you further spread the news, pointing out that the Ghost Spirit sect was colluding with the Four Seas Immortal Alliance, and even hinted that the rise of the Ghost Spirit sect was related to the Four Seas Immortal Alliance. After much investigation by the Immortals, it was discovered that the Four Seas Immortal Alliance had begun transporting supplies to the Ghost Spirit sect many years ago. The sudden rise of the Ghost Spirit sect is closely related to the Four Seas Immortal Alliance. In the 5th year, you broke through to the 7th level of foundation building. In the battle with the Ghost Spirit sect, the power of the heavenly sword art has also become even more amazing, and you have gradually become the backbone of the Purple Cloud sect. In the 6th year, due to your efforts and contributions over the years, you were promoted to become an elder of the Purple Cloud sect, and your status was elevated again. In the 7th year, you have completely become the core of the Purple Cloud sect. You can go to the small world whenever you want, and you can even practice beside the Purple Cloud Divine Fire. You began to try to use the Purple Cloud Divine Fire to make pills, and found that the quality of the pills was significantly improved. In the 8th year, Xiao Han spread the news that he had caught the real tomb robber, a wicked fat man. He tried to clear himself of suspicion, but no one from the immortal and demon worlds believed him. You carefully sensed that Fat Druid was indeed captured, but you didn't care. In the 9th year, through practicing beside the Purple Cloud Divine Fire, your cultivation speed has increased. Your physical cultivation realm has broken through to the 3rd level of foundation building, and your magic cultivation realm has reached the 8th level of foundation building. You start to refine some higher level pills. In the 10th year, you completely refined the alchemy furnace of the alchemy master, and your alchemy efficiency increased greatly. In addition to refining the yellow dragon pill, the true essence pill, and the gathering spirit pill, you also refined the Zheng Yuan pill. Although the success rate of Zheng Yuan Dan is not high, it is a pill for people in the Jin Dan stage after all. You have become an indispensable part of the Ziyun sect. At this point, even if you take the Purple Cloud Divine Fire away, no one will say a word of objection. You feel that you are getting closer and closer to success. Chapter 024, Being Slapped. In the 11th year, you continue to cultivate beside the Purple Cloud Divine Fire and begin to cultivate the physical cultivation realm. In the 12th year, a sneaky person was found in the market at the foot of Ziyun sect. Through secret investigation, it was discovered that the other party was Xiao Han, the legendary person who dug up the tomb of the founder of Ziyun sect. Even Ziyun sect's ancestor Ziyun personally went out to take action, but he still failed to catch him. It is said that a great battle broke out between the two sides, and Xiao Han finally escaped. In your 13th and 14th years, you devoted yourself to cultivation, not caring about worldly affairs, and only wanted to break through your current realm. In the 15th year, your physical cultivation realm has broken through to the 5th level of foundation building. However, your cultivation realm has remained at the 8th level of foundation building, and you have encountered a bottleneck. You begin to feel anxious and impatient. In the 16th year, you are still standing still, and you are even more anxious. You tried various methods, but nothing worked. In the 17th year, you still haven't made a breakthrough, and you begin to doubt yourself. You start to think about what other options are available. In the 18th year, you could no longer suppress your impatience and left Ziyun sect, coming to Quipping Mountain to wait for your chance. Half a year later, Fengling sect leader Lang Yu was ambushed by the demons and imprisoned on the mountain. You think the time has come, so you use the heavenly sword technique, and the power of your dual cultivation of magic and body bursts out, killing the disciples of the demonic path and successfully saving Lang Yu. However, Lang Yu did not throw herself at you as you expected. Instead, she was very annoyed by your suggestion of dual cultivation and slapped you hard. You then remembered that you forgot a crucial step, the unknown powder. Depressed, you returned to Zeun sect and continue to concentrate on refining the elixir. In the 19th year, you were refining the elixir, day after day, the fire from the elixir furnace illuminated your confused face. In the 20th year, you are still refining pills, and your physical cultivation realm breaks through to the 6th level of foundation building. In the same year, you heard that a genius named Lin Hao had emerged. You realized that he was your cousin. This news did not stir up any waves in your heart, but instead made you feel a little powerless. In the 21st year, you are still refining pills. You try to refine higher level pills, trying to find a breakthrough in the way of alchemy. You start to refine some elixirs that can help you break through the realm, hoping that they can help you break through the realm. In the 22nd year, your cultivation realm still remains at the 8th level of foundation building. And the bottleneck is like an insurmountable chasm. This year, you have refined enough medicinal pills and announced your retreat to the public. You come to the small world of Zeun sect, look at the burning Zeun divine fire, and swallow it resolutely. The two spiritual fires collide and explode in your body, madly burning your meridians, bones, flesh and blood. You are dead. Simulation ends. I'm dead again. Lin Yi sighed. I lived for another 20 years. As he is in the foundation building stage, he can live for at least 200 years. However, in order to break through, he took the risk of taking the purple cloud divine fire to break through the bottleneck, but ended up failing. It seems that nothing can be rushed. After calming down, Lin Yi began to review this Sims game. He found that using Fatty to spread rumors and discredit Xiao Han and Dan Zun for colluding was a brilliant move. Xiao Han and Dan Zun were being hunted by both immortals and demons, like lost dogs. How could they have the time to come to Zeun sect to steal the sacred fire? This gave him a perfect opportunity to thrive in the Zeun sect and even use the Zeun divine fire at will. What a pity! I was given the opportunity but I didn't seize it. Lin Yi smiled self-deprecatingly. After Xiao Han and his apprentice were tricked by him, he became arrogant. Cultivation also began to seek quick success and instant benefits. As a result, his realm of cultivation was stuck at the 8th level of foundation building for several years, and he couldn't move forward at all. He was so anxious that he even thought of using Lang Yu, who was in the Jindan stage, as a cauldron and practicing dual cultivation with her to improve his realm. The result was a slap in the face. Not being slapped to death by Lang Yu is considered lucky. Lin Yi rubbed his temple. This time the game started off smoothly, but later on, he frowned, thinking about every detail carefully. If you are not in a hurry to devour the spiritual fire, you can practice slowly. Even if your cultivation is stuck, you can continue to refine your body. However, this simulation also came to the conclusion that the 4 C's Immortal Alliance and the Ghost Spirit Sect are indeed related. Start calculating this reward. In this simulation, you have raised your strength and magic cultivation realm to the 8th level of foundation building, and your physical cultivation realm to the 6th level of foundation building. You can get one of the following rewards. 1. Physical cultivation foundation building level 6 strength. 2. The strength of the 8th level of Dharma cultivation foundation. 3. The alchemy furnace of the alchemy master that has been refined. 4. This simulation experience. 5. Heavenly sword technique. 6th, purple sky flying sword. Number of simulations remaining, 5. Lin Yi carefully analyzes the 6 bonus options provided by the simulator. The first option, to build up to the 6th level of physical foundation, has the advantage of increasing his physical strength, giving him an advantage in close combat. The second option, Heavenly Sword Technique, was a local-level martial arts technique that really made it difficult for him to make a decision. The third option, the already refined Danzun's alchemy furnace, is not considered at this time. Although it can improve the rate of alchemy, it can also get rid of the combination of Danzun and Danzun. But I thought I still had plenty of time to use. So put it aside for now and look at it later. There is no good choice for this simulation experience. Of course, if he chooses it, he will gain a lot more experience in alchemy and practical experience. The sixth option, the purple sky flying sword, was simply abandoned. Even the alchemy furnace of the alchemy master was abandoned, let alone this thing. After weighing the pros and cons, Lin Yi finally chose the second option, the strength of the 8th level of foundation building. After obtaining the 8th level of foundation building strength, Lin Yi decided to conduct another simulation. This time, he learned from his previous lessons and decided to proceed step by step and not rush for quick results. After thinking it through, he started the simulation. Simulation begins. Number of simulations remaining, 4. On the first day, you left the bustling meteorite market and flew towards the purple cloud sect on your sword. We deliberately avoided Loxia Mountain along the way to avoid unnecessary trouble. 10 days later, you found a secluded courtyard in the market at the foot of Xiun Sect Mountain, settled down temporarily, and purchased a new alchemy furnace and alchemy materials. You began to quietly purchase spiritual medicines in the market, refined some of the more in-demand elixirs on the market for sale, and secretly gathered information. In the first month, you devoted yourself to refining pills, and with your superb alchemy skills, you soon became famous in the market. At the same time, you are also paying attention to the news about Fat German. In the third month, your pills were in short supply in the market and your reputation grew. Mu Chongfeng of Xiun Sect accidentally got the elixir you made, and was very impressed, so he came to visit you in person. You realized that this was a great opportunity, so you pretended to be mysterious and told Mu Chongfeng that you had a major event to report that was related to the survival of the Xiun sect. Mu Chongfeng was horrified and did not dare to delay, so he hurried back to the section. A few days later, Mu Chongfeng brought an inner sect elder of Xiun sect, Li Yuanqing, to visit again. Li Yuanqing questioned you in detail, but you remained tight-lipped, saying only that the matter was of great importance and that you could only reveal it after meeting with Xiun Patriarch. Li Yuanqing had no choice but to report the matter to Patriarch Xiun. After hearing this, Ancestor Xiun was also quite curious, so he came to meet you in person. You pretend to be profound and tell the story you have prepared long ago, claiming that you have heard that the Ghost Spirit sect intends to revive their ancestor and subvert the order of the immortal world. And according to your speculation, in a year at most, the Ghost Spirit sect will launch an invasion on the Xiandao market and small and medium-sized sects. By then, all lives will be lost, and the Purple Cloud sect will not be able to remain unscathed. After hearing this, Xiun Patriarch was half believing and half doubting, and said that he would investigate the matter and asked you to wait for good news. After a few days, the Purple Cloud Patriarch returned and invited you to join the Purple Cloud sect, and you readily agreed. You take out the alchemy furnace you got from the alchemy master, and ask the Purple Cloud Patriarch to help remove the remaining consciousness of the alchemy master on the furnace. Seeing your sincere attitude, Patriarch Xiun wiped out the divine consciousness on the alchemy furnace. Without the restraint of the alchemy master's consciousness, the alchemy furnace has completely become your property. You begin to study the recipe and refine the furnace. In the 7th month, you officially joined the inner sect of Xiun sect and became the deacon of the inner sect's alchemy pavilion. You kept a low profile and devoted yourself to refining pills, and soon won the recognition of the inner disciples and elders. At the same time, you secretly investigate Fatda's whereabouts. Chapter 025, The First Disagreement. In the 9th month, you stay at home and concentrate on studying alchemy. Occasionally, I would take on some sect missions and refine some high-level elixirs in exchange for contribution points and spirit stones. In the 10th month, you found a secret book in the Sutra library, called Soul Control Technique, which can control others. The other party cannot resist and can only obey you wholeheartedly from now on. You studied this secret book so that you can use it when needed. In the first year and 3 months, you finally found out about Fat Druid. You sneak into Fatty's hiding place at night, grab him and tell him that he has robbed the tomb of the founder of the Purple Cloud sect. Fatda turned pale with fear and denied it repeatedly. You said you sensed the aura of the ancestor's shroud on the other person. Pangda knew that the truth had been revealed, so he rose up to resist. He used his flying sword, and several defensive talismans appeared on his body. Your realm is the same as his, both of you are at the 8th level of the foundation building period. But you, who had built your foundation in Heavenly Dao, suppressed him instantly. Although he has an endless supply of treasures, he is still no match for you. Fatda was finally subdued by you. You took out the secret book Soul Control Technique that you had found in the Sutra library, and used it on Fatda. Fatda will obey your orders. You send Fat Druid out and let him spread the news secretly. Not long after, the tomb of the founder of Xiun sect was dug up. It was said that it was done by Xiao Han and Dan Zunzun, which made the entire sect extremely angry. It is said that even Patriarch Xiun was alarmed, and the sect issued a high reward to find the whereabouts of Xiao Han and Dan Zun's. 1 year and 5 months later, the demonic ghost spirit sect suddenly launched a large-scale invasion of the immortal market and small and medium-sized forces, and many places suffered a devastating disaster. Thanks to your previous warning, Xiun sect made preparations in advance, and its market town was temporarily preserved. In order to fight against the ghost spirit sect, the Purple Cloud sect sent a large number of disciples to the front line. Many outer sect elders also volunteered to join the fight against the demons. You volunteered to join the team to fight against the ghost spirit sect. On the battlefield, you hold the spiritual fire in your hand, and the flames spread all over the place, burning all obstacles. You are brave and fearless, and you killed countless ghost spirit sect demon cultivators. You soon made great achievements in battle, like a rising star in the Immortal Alliance. In the first year and 8 months, both the immortals and demons were extremely furious. Because in the past 6 months, there has been a casual cultivator named Xiao Han who has been digging up people's ancestral graves everywhere, causing disaster to many sections. The ghost spirit sect even issued a huge reward, determined to catch this person. Lastly, it was reported that Xiao Han came from Wuyudan town, from a small family with the surname Xiao. Then, this family was destroyed by the angry immortals and demons. Some people even said that they had met Xiao Han. Although he was in the Jindan stage, he had never been able to defeat him. The other party used the stolen 9 netherworld fire. Some even said that this Xiao Han had a big boss behind him, and that he was an excellent escapee and proficient in various escape techniques and formations. This makes more people believe that Xiao Han is definitely a tomb robber, because without some skills, it is impossible to do such a thing. The second year, you have joined Xiun sect for more than a year and have been working diligently. While fighting demons and defending the Dao, he also made elixirs to supply the sect. With your heroic deeds in killing enemies on the battlefield and your outstanding contributions in alchemy, you were promoted to the position of inner sect elder by Xiun sect. The sect grants you a cave and 100 acres of spiritual farmland. You are highly valued by the sect and have become a rising star in the Purple Cloud sect. Your reputation has reached its peak in the Purple Cloud sect. You continue to secretly control Fatty, letting him spread rumors that are unfavorable to Xiao Han and forge some evidence. In the third year, you intentionally or unintentionally guided public opinion in the battle with the ghost spirit sect. Xiao Han was portrayed as an evil demon who was unforgivable and deserved to be killed by everyone. You secretly spread the news, implying that Xiao Han was colluding with the ghost spirit sect, and that the stolen treasures all went to the ghost spirit sect, in order to arouse the anger of the various sects of the immortal Dao. Under your plan, Xiao Han and Dan Zun have become the rats that everyone in the immortal and demon worlds wants to kill. In the fourth year, you further spread the news, pointing out that the ghost spirit sect and the Four Seas Immortal Alliance were also colluding with each other, and the Four Seas Immortal Alliance secretly funded the development of the ghost spirit sect. After much investigation by the Immortals, it was discovered that the Four Seas Immortal Alliance had begun transporting supplies to the ghost spirit sect many years ago. The sudden rise of the ghost spirit sect is closely related to the Four Seas Immortal Alliance. In the fifth year, your physical cultivation realm has broken through to the seventh level of foundation building. You gradually became the backbone of the Purple Cloud sect and had a greater say in the section. In the sixth year, due to your efforts and contributions over the years, your status in the Purple Cloud sect has been elevated. Appointed as the Elder of the Alchemy Hall, responsible for managing all alchemy affairs within the sect. In the eighth year, Xiao Han spread the news that he had caught the real tomb robber. He is a wicked fat man, and he announced many treasures stolen by Fat Day. He tried to clear himself of suspicion, but no one from the immortal and demon worlds believed him. You secretly controlled Pangda and made him admit that he was instructed by Xiao Han to deliberately steal the treasure and frame others, further exacerbating Xiao Han's guilt. In the ninth year, your physical cultivation realm has broken through to the eighth level of foundation building. In the 10th year, you completely refined the alchemy furnace of the alchemy master, and your alchemy efficiency increased greatly. In addition to refining the yellow dragon pill, the true essence pill, and the gathering spirit pill, you also refined the Zheng Yuan pill. Although the success rate of Zheng Yuan Dan is not high, it is a pill taken during the Jin Dan period after all. You have become an indispensable part of the Ziyun sect. In the 13th and 14th years, you devoted yourself to refining elixirs while fighting against the devil. At the same time, you secretly support a new puppet and continue to spread rumors that are unfavorable to Xiao Han. In the 16th year, your alchemy skills have reached a higher level, and your chances of refining Zheng Yuan Dan have greatly increased. In the 18th year, you broke through the physical cultivation realm and reached the 9th level of foundation building one step ahead of time. Your cultivation level is still at the 8th level of foundation building, but you are not in a hurry. This year, Fengling sect's leader Lang Yu was ambushed by the demonic sect, and Fengling sect suffered heavy losses. It is said that Lang Yu was finally saved by a mysterious person. It is said that the mysterious person has powerful fire skills and superb swordsmanship, and he is suspected to be a disciple of Ziyun sect. In the 19th year, you began to prepare for the formation of the elixir, and secretly collected various natural materials and treasures that would help the formation of the elixir. In the 20th year, you heard that a genius named Lin Hao suddenly appeared, and you knew that he was your cousin. This news did not stir up any waves in your heart, and you had no intention of going to recognize your relatives. From the 21st to the 26th year, you will consolidate your cultivation while continuing to refine pills and accumulate resources in preparation for forming pills. In the 27th year, the Fengling sect was destroyed by a man named Xiao Han. The immortals were shocked and were determined to hunt this man down. But it is also said that the two sides had already issued a duel 30 years ago. At the beginning, Xiao Han shouted that things will change over time. In the 28th year, you stopped all activities and entered into seclusion. In the 30th year, your body refining skills have reached the peak of the 9th level of foundation building, and are on the verge of forming a pill. You decide to form a pill and become a physical cultivator, and give up the realm of Dharma cultivation. Agree, reject. Lin Yi was stunned when he saw the options in the simulator. I didn't expect that there would be a disagreement. He wanted to complete the Jindan stage right away and become the Jindan ancestor in the body cultivation realm. But suddenly I remembered what Master Dan once said. That was when Xiao Han was forming his elixir. The result is a golden elixir. He was not sure whether the formation of the elixir would have an impact on his future strength. Since this concerns future achievements, Lin Yi feels that he cannot be careless. Then he clicked refuse. Note, if you refuse to become a Jindan stage cultivator, changes will occur in this simulation. After the simulation is over, you can spend spirit stones to redeem a simulation option. Chapter 26 How dare you destroy my heart? Exchange for a simulation opportunity. In that case, can't I choose to? Great. Lin Yi didn't expect that his simulated choice would bring him unexpected gains. Then he looked at the simulator again. You refused to become a physical cultivation Jindan ancestor. You were in seclusion when you suddenly felt that you were concentrating your body and cultivating the Dan. A premonition in the dark alerted you and you stopped practicing. You come to the small world and ask the Purple Cloud Patriarch to take you to see the Heavenly Sword. Lord. Ancestor Xiun is grateful for your contribution to the sect over the years, so he took you to see the Heavenly Sword Lord. You respectfully bowed to the Heavenly Sword Divine Lord and asked the question that puzzled you, what is the difference between the Jindan and the Jindan? After hearing this, the Heavenly Sword Lord looked at you deeply and said that the fact that you could ask this question proved that you were a promising talent. He asks if you are willing to be his disciple. Ancestor Xiun, who was standing by, was shocked when he heard this, and quickly said that the Heavenly Sword Divine Lord had never accepted a disciple, and asked you to become his disciple right away. You hesitated for a moment, then immediately worshipped the Heavenly Sword God as your master. After becoming your disciple, the Heavenly Sword God will give you a top-grade spiritual flying sword named Zixiao and teach you his unique skill Heavenly Sword Art. The Heavenly Sword Master asks you, do you know why he accepted you as his disciple? You shake your head. Even the Purple Cloud Patriarch beside him was puzzled. The Heavenly Sword Lord tells you that he knew at the first sight that you did not take the foundation building pill when you were building your foundation. People who have not taken the foundation building pill have all built their foundation perfectly. Such people generally have bright futures. And now you have asked the question, what is the golden elixir, which proves that you are different from others. Now you understand why the Heavenly Sword Master accepted you as his disciple. The Heavenly Sword God said that after building the foundation, one must form a pill, which has 3 types. The true pill, the Yuan pill, and the golden pill. Most people who have achieved Dan formation are at the true Dan stage, and most have no hope of achieving Yuan Ying, but there are exceptions. Most people in the Yuan Dan realm can achieve Yuan Ying, just like he himself is in the Yuan Dan realm. As for the golden elixir, it is extremely rare, 1 in 10,000. It requires harmony between heaven, earth, and people, as well as good luck to achieve. He failed to condense the golden elixir at first, and finally had no choice but to achieve the Yuan Dan. Then the Heavenly Sword God gave you a copy of the Purple Cloud Sect's Dan Wen Heart Sutra. The profound meaning of this scripture is unparalleled. It can further condense the elixir when forming the elixir, and condense elixir patterns on the elixir. 3 Dan patterns are the real Dan, 6 are the primordial Dan, and 9 are the golden Dan. This Heart Sutra is the secret of the Purple Cloud sect. Yuan Patriarch Xiun left the cave of Lord Tianjian. You have become the only disciple of the heavenly sword divine monarch. Your status and position have risen rapidly. You are of the same generation as the Purple Cloud ancestor and have a very high seniority in the entire Purple Cloud sect. When you walk on the road, the people you meet are either your disciples or your disciples' disciples. Disciples, which makes you feel a little uncomfortable. In the 31st year, you left Zeun sect and began to comprehend the nature of heaven and earth. You wander around the homes of ordinary people, begging for food, watching the daily life of the world. Feeling the joys and sorrows, birth, aging, sickness and death of the world. You blend into it, as if you were just an ordinary person, working from sunrise to sunset. You gradually understand that cultivating immortals is not just about pursuing power, but also about understanding the way of heaven, feeling nature, and cultivating your mind and character. In the 33rd year, spring goes and autumn comes, winter comes, and summer goes. You have already entered the 9th level of foundation building without knowing when. You sit cross-legged, feeling the spiritual energy filling your body, and suddenly you gain a new understanding. Tao follows nature, return to simplicity and nature. Your previous practice was too eager for quick success and instant benefits, which hindered your own progress. Now, you have let go of all your obsessions and followed nature, and everything will come naturally. You realize that the path to becoming an immortal is not a straight and smooth road, but a winding mountain road that requires constant adjustment of direction to eventually reach the top. In the 35th year, you heard that the Danzun from Danta had returned, and brought back a disciple named Xiao Han. Dan Tower is famous for its alchemy. It is said that there is a spiritual fire inside it, which is the treasure of Dan Tower and the key to refining high-level elixirs. You thought to yourself, could it be that the return of the Danzun is for the heavenly and earthly spiritual fire? This thought lingers in your mind, and you decide to secretly monitor Danta's movements. In the 40th year, the invasion of the demonic force Ghost Spirit sect became more rampant, and the world of immortal cultivation was in flames. All major immortal sects sent out inner sect elders to resist the invasion of the demonic force. You also encountered an inner disciple of the Ghost Spirit sect by chance. This person is surrounded by a ferocious spirit, which is both offensive and defensive, and is strange and unpredictable. It is surprisingly similar to the combination of Danzun and Xiao Han. After a fierce battle, you relied on the heavenly sword art taught by the heavenly sword god and the combat experience accumulated from years of traveling, and finally won a narrow victory and killed the Ghost Spirit sect disciple. This battle has given you a deeper understanding of the Ghost Spirit sect's secret techniques. After dealing with the Ghost Spirit sect's disciples, you did not rush back to the sect, but continued your journey of self-cultivation, comprehending the way of heaven and earth. You understand that only by constantly improving your own strength can you remain invincible in troubled times. In the 45th year, you came to a beautiful mountain range. You originally wanted to practice meditation here for a while, but you unexpectedly discovered a group of evil disciples from the Poison Fire sect. They have captured a female immortal cultivator and are torturing her in all kinds of cruel ways. The female cultivator was in tattered clothes, covered in wounds, and barely breathing, but she still refused to surrender. You are filled with rage, and immediately draw your sword, rushing into the demon disciples like a bolt of lightning. The sharp sword energy crisscrossed and in an instant, all the disciples of the demon sect were killed by you. You helped the dying female cultivator up and heal her wounds. The female cultivator weakly opened her eyes and looked at you gratefully, saying that her name was Xiao Chan and that she had been captured by the Poison Fire cult and tortured for a long time. What the hell? Again. In front of the simulator, Lin Yi stood up from the futon in an instant. Every time this woman appears, he will end up in a bad way. It's happened twice, and you've ruined your moral character twice. This time I finally stepped into the 9th level of foundation building, and was about to form a pill, but this woman appeared again. I hope nothing strange will happen again. Thinking of this, Lin Yi became extremely nervous. He was really scared. Please, auntie, please don't cause any trouble this time. Lin Yi frowned. If he's causing trouble this time, I might have to go find him myself. Make the other party disappear from your sight forever so that you can avoid meeting him in the next simulation. Thinking of this, he looked at the simulator carefully again. After you rescued Xia Xiao Chan, she thanked you weakly, claiming that she had been imprisoned and tortured by the poison fire cult for a long time, and that she was fed poison day and night. You can't help but feel it's absurd after hearing this. The poison fire sect is famous for refining strange poisons. One dose of poison can kill a person, let alone taking it day and night. Even a Yuanying stage cultivator like Dan Zun will die if he is poisoned by your strange poison. You ask her how she could persist for 10 years? Xia Xiao Chan explained that she didn't know why, but after taking poison during this period, she became immune to all poisons. You are curious, so you take out a poison pill and let her take it. Xia Xiao Chan swallowed the poison pill without hesitation, and after a moment, she showed no reaction at all. You were greatly surprised, and gave her various poisons one after another to observe her reaction. Gradually, Xia Xiaoqan's complexion and physical condition became better and better, and her cultivation level also improved. You were shocked and realized that she might have some special physique, so you brought her back to Xiun sect and planned to continue observing and studying her. In the 50th year, Xia Xiao Chan took your poison every day and miraculously reached the 12th level of Qi refining and completed the perfect foundation building. She was radiant, graceful, and beautiful beyond compare. Chapter 27, The Heaven-Shaking Hand. Ancestor Xiun was very pleased with her and wanted to accept her as his disciple, but Xia Xiao Chan politely declined. She is cold to everyone except you, and her every move reveals a noble temperament, as if she has become a different person. This year, your cultivation has reached the 9th level of foundation building, and you announced that you would go into seclusion. You come to the purple cloud divine fire and swallow it into your stomach. 2 kinds of spiritual fire chase, burn, and merge with each other in your body. In the 55th year, the 2 fires finally merged into one, and your fire spirit root was upgraded to the 4th grade. You naturally formed a true elixir and entered the realm of elixir formation. But you are not satisfied, and start practicing the Danwen Heart Sutra to condense the Danwen. In the 56th year, you condensed the first Dan pattern. In the 58th year, you condensed the 3rd Dan pattern. In the 62nd year, you condensed the 6th Dan pattern. In the 70th year, you successfully condensed the 8th Dan pattern. In the 71st year, a giant hand suddenly covered the purple cloud sect. You had no power to resist, and died instantly. Simulation ends. Start calculating this reward. In this simulation, you have raised your strength and magic cultivation realm to the Yuan Dan realm, with 8 Dan patterns, and your physical cultivation realm to the Jindan stage. You can get one of the following rewards. 1. The initial stage of physical cultivation, foundation building, and Dan formation. 2. The borders of the 8-section Tangxiang of the law are as follows. 3. The alchemy furnace of the alchemy master that has been refined. 4. This simulation experience. 5. Heavenly sword technique. 6th, purple sky flying sword. 7th, purple cloud sex Danwen Heart Sutra. Number of simulations remaining, settlement in progress. Call. Lin Yi let out a long breath. This simulation was steady and took the longest time. The elixir was finally formed, but there was only one step left. Just one step away from condensing the golden elixir. Simulating the last prompt, the scene of the giant hand covering the sky and enveloping the Zeun sect is still vivid in my mind. What level of power is this person? It would be too frustrating to die without even knowing who the enemy is. What's more, Zeun sect also has Tianji Unshenjun, a powerful person in the god transformation stage, who has no power to resist at all. Who is the other party? Could it be the Danzun? Lin Yi frowned. If it was Danzun who wanted revenge, he might kill him at all costs. But does the other party really have this strength? In a sect guarded by a powerful being in the spirit transformation stage, he was able to extend his giant hand that covered the sky without anyone noticing, covering the entire sect and killing himself. This is too overbearing. If it wasn't Master Dan, then who could it be? Suddenly Lin Yi thought of a possibility. Could it be the Ghost Spirit sect? The Ghost Spirit sect, a demonic sect with a history of 3,000 years. He was once glorious and was known as the leader of the demon world, commanding thousands of demon cultivators. But as time went by, the Ghost Spirit sect gradually declined, and is now just an ordinary sect, barely surviving in a corner. At least, that's what it seems on the surface. In every simulation, Lin Yi would encounter the Ghost Spirit sect causing trouble. At first, they only carried out small-scale attacks and harassed some remote towns. But as time went on, their attacks became more frequent and larger in scale, and they even dared to attack some small and medium-sized immortal sects. What made Lin Yi even more uneasy was that the Ghost Spirit sect's strength was increasing at an astonishing speed. In several simulations, the first ones they sent out were a group of rabble-rousers who were vulnerable. But later on, when the disciples of their Ghost Spirit sect came out, they were able to compete with some powerful immortal sects, and even had a tendency to overwhelm them. This abnormal phenomenon made Lin Yi wonder if there was any secret hidden behind the Ghost Spirit sect. If so, what is their purpose? Is it just to overthrow the rule of the immortals? Or is there a deeper conspiracy? Countless thoughts flashed through Lin Yi's mind, but he still couldn't find the answer. He felt an inexplicable pressure. He must find out the secrets of the Ghost Spirit sect as soon as possible in order to protect himself from future crises. It seems that in addition to improving my strength during the next simulation, I still have to take this sect seriously. Only by knowing both yourself and your enemy can you fight 100 battles without danger. Because when I rise, I will inevitably come into conflict with this sect. Although he is a villain, he does not practice evil techniques. Immortals and demons cannot coexist. Even if you don't kill the other party will definitely kill you. Just like in this simulation, I was meditating and practicing, and the other party stretched out a giant hand and slapped me to death. Humph, Ghost Spirit sect. Since you dare to provoke me, you must be prepared to die. I don't care what the Ghost Spirit sect is doing or who is behind it. However, to Lin Yi's surprise, there was something wrong with Xia Zioken's performance in this simulation. The other party actually took the poison and did not die. It seems that he is immune to all poisons. Moreover, he can improve his strength by taking medicinal pills. What kind of physique is this? Fortunately, Lin Fan or Lin Tian did not appear in this simulation, which was good news for him. It doesn't matter what the other person loves, but just don't let it ruin your own moral conscience. At this point, Lin Yi breathed a sigh of relief. Then he looked at the simulator. In these 6 simulations, Lin Yi wanted all the rewards except the flying sword. After much deliberation, he finally chose second, the 8-line Danwen realm of the law of cultivating. Yuan Den. The reason why he chose this was because he found that from the foundation building stage to the golden elixir stage, his physical cultivation realm improved very quickly. Perhaps it was the benefit of taking the spiritual fire before. Therefore, he can completely cultivate the physical cultivation realm again in the next simulation. As the choice was made, a powerful force surged into Lin Yi's body. 9 levels of foundation building, early, middle, late, and peak, a sudden breakthrough to the Jindan stage. The elixir has 1 pattern, 2 patterns, 3 patterns, it's a real elixir. 4 patterns, 5 patterns, 6 patterns, Yuan Dan. 7 lines, 8 lines. The surge of power finally slowly stopped. Lin Yi let out a long sigh, a powerful aura emanating from him, but he carefully restrained it. Feeling the surging magic power in his body, he nodded with satisfaction. Although this simulation still could not escape the fate of death, it finally achieved substantial improvement. With the realm of Dharma cultivation of the 8 patterns of Yuan Dan, he might be able to persist longer in the next simulation and spy on more secrets of the ghost spirit sect. Ding! You can spend 10,000 spirit stones to choose the result once more. Oh, by the way, how could you have forgotten this? When he was practicing, there was a disagreement. After he refused it, an opportunity to choose appeared. But he had to pay spirit stones to make the choice. Help me choose a simulation experience. Lin Yi suddenly remembered that his realm had remained at the 8th level of foundation building for a long time. It was only through traveling for decades that he gradually improved his state of mind. Finally, he broke through to the Jindan stage. But in reality, I am just a novice in cultivating immortals, let alone having any experience. For the past 3 years, I have been doing tasks in the market and have no mood to speak of. Now he has the strength of the Jindan stage, but he does not have the corresponding state of mind. Then the next simulation will definitely leave you at the same point, and it will take decades of hard work before you can make a breakthrough. So this time I must choose this experience. Thinking of this, he made his choice instantly. This option requires payment of 10,000 lingxi, please pay first. What the hell? Lin Yi instantly felt like a cat whose tail was stepped on. 10,000 spirit stones, why don't you go and grab them? Thinking of this, he looked at the prompt above and found that it really required 10,000 spirit stones. I blame myself for not noticing it because I was thinking about the breakthrough. Then, he reluctantly took out 10,000 low-grade spirit stones and chose to recharge. In just a moment, the 10,000 spirit stones in front of him disappeared. At the same time, countless experiences flooded into his mind like a passing tour. Ding! You spend 10,000 spirit stones to choose the simulation experience. Countless fragments of memory came flooding in like a tide. As he remembered, he had traveled to countless famous mountains and rivers, seen all kinds of rare and exotic animals, fought with countless immortal cultivators, and experienced the test of life and death. He had practiced swordsmanship on precipitous mountains and fought ferocious monsters. He had also made friends in prosperous cities and experienced all kinds of life. He had gone deep into dangerous places in search of rare treasures, and had also been hunted down by his enemies and narrowly escaped death. These experiences flashed through his mind like a movie, making him feel as if he had really experienced it all. He felt the exquisiteness of swordsmanship, experienced the cruelty of battle, and understood the fickleness of human nature and the vicissitudes of the world. These experiences are not just simple memories, but also a kind of understanding and experience. They were integrated into the depths of Lin Yi's soul, allowing him to have a deeper understanding of the way of cultivating immortals and a more thorough perception of life. His state of mind improved unconsciously, becoming more mature and stable. The originally empty eyes became deeper and more determined. He knew that these experiences would become valuable assets on his future path to becoming an immortal, guiding him to a higher level. Lin Yi slowly opened his eyes, a gleam of light flashed in his eyes. He felt as if he had gone through a long spiritual practice, which cleansed his body and mind and elevated his Realm. Call. After absorbing the energy in the simulator, Lin Yi felt that his state of mind had been greatly improved. The understanding of the Jindan stage is also more profound. However, half of the original 19,000 spirit stones were gone in an instant. If there is a disagreement in the next simulation and there is one more chance to choose, there will be no spirit stones to choose from. Bang, bang, bang. At this moment, someone suddenly knocked on the door outside. Chapter 028 3 Days. Lin Yi was stunned for a moment. He has always been low-key and is well aware of the dangers of the world of immortal cultivation, so he doesn't have many friends. Logically speaking, no one should knock on his door. With doubts, he got up and opened the door. Two disciples wearing the uniforms of the Four Seas Immortal Alliance stood outside the door. They looked Lin Yi up and down, and one of them said in a bad tone, "You are Lin Yi, right?" Lin Yi frowned and asked, "Who are you? What did you do?" "The Yunmen Secret Realm collection mission will begin in 4 hours. Everyone else has already gathered, but you are still in the room? We asked around for a long time before we found out you live here. Hurry up and gather," one of the disciples urged impatiently. When Lin Yi heard the words Yunmen Secret Realm, he suddenly realized. It turned out that 3 days had passed since he got the simulator. 3 days. Lin Yi smiled self-deprecatingly. Who could have thought that in just 3 days, he would break through from the 3rd level of Qi refining to the core forming stage? This speed is simply unheard of. It takes others hundreds of years to form a pill. Even those extremely talented cultivators would need decades or even hundreds of years to reach such a realm. Looking at the arrogant disciples of the Four Seas Immortal Alliance in front of him, Lin Yi sneered in his heart. Before, he was full of anticipation for entering the Yunmen Secret Realm, but what was he going to do now? He casually threw the invitation letter in his hand to the other party and said calmly, "Sorry, something urgent happened and I can't go." "Hey, what an attitude you have!" The disciple took the letter of admission and was obviously stunned for a moment, then glared at Lin Yi angrily. However, he seemed to realize that Lin Yi's cultivation was unfathomable, and in the end he just complained a few words in a low voice and turned away. After sending the two disciples away, Lin Yi sat cross-legged on the cushion, and with a thought, he started the simulation again. Ding! The number of simulations has been refreshed. Number of simulations remaining, 0. Oh, that's not right. Lin Yi frowned. He clearly still has 4 times left. Even if the last simulation is completed, there are still 3 times left. What's going on? This is all for myself. Then he looked at the annotations again. Note, it is detected that the host is now in the Jindan stage. The number of simulations is 1000 low grade spirit stones per time. The total number of spirit stones in the previous 4 opportunities is 120. After settlement, there are 0 times left after rounding. Damn, that's such a waste of spiritual stones. He was thinking that he had enough spirit stones, but he didn't expect that one simulation at the Jindan stage would cost 1,000. Wouldn't that be 10,000 if we do this 10 times? With reluctance on his face, he took out the remaining spirit stones again and started to recharge. I only recharged 1,000 this time. He will use the remaining spirit stones as starting capital during the simulation. Simulation begins. You refused to join the Yunmen Secret Realm collection mission of the Four Seas Immortal Alliance. On the first day, you saw them using a flying boat to pick up the independent cultivators from Meteorite Market who were joining the gathering mission. You followed them slowly until they came to the teleportation array, then lay in ambush nearby, quietly waiting. 3 days later, the people from the Four Seas Immortal Alliance walked out of the secret realm. You launched an attack on them brazenly. The people of the Four Seas Immortal Alliance were caught off guard and were killed by you with one palm. You took the Huangchuan demon map, burned the teleportation array, and destroyed all traces. You left there and flew towards the direction of Ziyun sect. A few days later, you found a secluded courtyard in the market town at the foot of Ziyun mountain. Temporarily settled down. You purchased a new alchemy furnace and alchemy materials. In the first month, you will start refining pills in the market. Since you are a cultivator in the Jindan stage and have rich experience in alchemy, your efficiency in alchemy is extremely high. In addition to refining the Yellow Dragon pill, the True Yuan pill, the Gathering Spirit pill, and the Zheng Yuan pill, you can also refine the Ji Yuan pill for the nascent soul stage. In the second month, your elixirs were in short supply, attracting more and more monks to patronize you. And your reputation gradually spread in the market. In the third month, Li Yuanqing, the inner sect elder of the Purple Cloud sect, was very impressed by the elixir you made and came to visit you in person. He saw that you were neither humble nor overbearing, and the elixirs you refined were quite impressive, so he started chatting with you. In the fourth month, Li Yuanqing came to your shop again. This time he brought a high-ranking member of the Purple Cloud sect, the Purple Cloud Patriarch. Ancestor Ziyun has observed your process of refining the elixir and has invited you, hoping that you can join the inner sect of Ziyun sect and become an elder of the inner sect's alchemy pavilion. You readily accepted the invitation of Patriarch Ziyun. In the seventh month, you officially joined the inner sect of Ziyun sect and became the elder of the inner sect's alchemy pavilion. You kept a low profile and devoted yourself to refining pills, and soon won the recognition of the inner disciples and elders. You discovered that Ziyun sect has rich alchemy resources and a variety of rare and precious spiritual medicines, which makes you very happy. In the ninth month, you take out the alchemy furnace you got from the alchemy master and ask the Purple Cloud Patriarch to help remove the remaining consciousness of the alchemy master on the furnace. Ancestor Ziyun wiped out the spiritual consciousness on the alchemy furnace without saying a word. In the 10th month, you found a secret book in the sutra library, called Soul Control Technique, which can control others. In the first year and 3 months, you finally found out about Fat DS news. After you find Fatty, grab him and tell him that he robbed the tomb of the founder of the Purple Cloud sect. Fat turned pale with fear and denied it repeatedly. You said you sensed the aura of the ancestor's shroud on the other person. Pangda knew that the truth had been revealed and he rose up to resist. He summoned his flying sword and several defensive talismans appeared on his body. Pangda is only at the 8th level of foundation building. Although he has many magical weapons and spiritual weapons, he is no match for you. Pig Druid was subdued by you in less than 1 round. After being subdued, Fat Druid is powerless to resist and can only let you do whatever you want. You take out the secret book Soul Control Technique that you found in the Sutra Library, and use it on Fat. Today, Fatda will obey your orders. You sent him out to do one thing secretly, spread rumors. Not long after, a major event spread from Ziyun sect. It was said that a man named Xiao Han and a man named Danzun had teamed up to dig up the ancestral tomb of Ziyun sect. This matter has become the top priority of the Purple Cloud sect. It is said that even the Purple Cloud Patriarch has been alarmed. The sect has issued a mission and a high reward to find the whereabouts of the two. You volunteered yourself, saying that this matter concerns the survival of the Ziyun sect, and found the Ziyun Patriarch. He also asked you why you said this matter concerns the survival of Ziyun sect. You pretended to be profound, saying that you had met Xiao Han and Dan Zuns before, and that they were related to the Ghost Spirit sect and had been searching for the world's spiritual fire, attempting to revive the Ghost Spirit sect's ancestor and subvert the order of the immortal world. And according to your speculation, in 1 or 2 months at most, the Ghost Spirit sect will launch an Invasion of the immortal Dao market and small and medium-sized sects. By then, all lives will be lost, and the Purple Cloud sect will not be able to remain unscathed. After hearing this, Xiun Patriarch was horrified and asked if you were talking nonsense. You said firmly that time will tell. Ancestor Xiun looks solemn, and then takes you to a secret place in the center of Xiun sect's small world. There is an ancient tomb there, and Patriarch Xiun pays respect to it. After a while, the grave mound bulged and split open, a coffin flew out, and an old man who was about to die slowly walked out of the coffin. Ancestor Xiun respectfully calls the old man Uncle Master. You immediately understand that this old man is likely the foundation of Xiun sect, and you quickly bow. The old man said that unless it concerns the life and death of the sect, he should not be disturbed in his meditation. Ancestor Xiun did not dare to neglect and immediately told the old man everything you said. After hearing this, the old man was also extremely shocked. A gleam of light flashed across his cloudy eyes. And then he turned into a stream of light and flew out of the Purple Cloud sect's small world, disappearing without a trace. You are not panicking at all, but waiting quietly. Ancestor Xiun tells you that this is the Heavenly Sword Divine Lord, the only ancestor of the Xiun sect, who is at the God transformation stage. Half a day later, Heavenly Sword Divine Lord returned with a gloomy face and said nothing. The Heavenly Sword God ordered the Purple Cloud Patriarch, have the sect step up its defenses. The Ghost Spirit sect will be approaching soon. Order the disciples to prepare to eliminate the demons and defend the way immediately. Then he turns to you and asks, who is your teacher? You said you are a casual cultivator, currently refining pills in Xiun sect. The Heavenly Sword Lord nodded slightly, saying that you have the aura of his Purple Cloud sect inheritance, and asked where you got it from? You said that you got the Purple Cloud sect Danwen Heart Sutra from an ancient cave, but it was incomplete. I hope you can complete it. After hearing this, Heavenly Sword Lord said that you have a deep connection with the Purple Cloud sect. And he agreed to your request. You asked Heavenly Sword Divine Lord if you could become his disciple. Heavenly Sword Divine Lord said that you have already formed the elixir, and you can access the core secrets of the Purple Cloud sect whether you become his disciple or not. You left the Purple Cloud sect's small world. Before leaving, you noticed that the Purple Cloud Divine Fire still existed. Lin Yi's eyes fell on the simulator, his brows furrowed. The Purple Cloud Divine Fire is still there. He recalled the lava fire that he had devoured and refined in the Spirit Snake Valley, and he had some vague guesses in his mind. Perhaps, the true lava fire still exists in the Spirit Snake Valley. A thought swirled in his mind. I must go to the Spirit Snake Valley again and take the lava fire for myself. Otherwise, once it falls into Xiao Han's hands, it will be his own loss. As for the fact that Heavenly Sword Divine Lord did not accept him as his disciple, although Lin Yi was somewhat surprised, it was not completely incomprehensible. Perhaps it was because he had already formed a pill, or perhaps the other party was on guard. But no matter what, the famous skill of the Heavenly Sword God, the Heavenly Sword Art. I'm afraid it's difficult to get. Lin Yi sighed and put the thought aside for the time being. Chapter 29 Fire, Spirit, and Pill. 1 year and 5 months later. The demonic ghost spirit sect suddenly launched a large-scale invasion of the immortal market and small and medium-sized forces. Many places suffered devastating disasters. Thanks to your previous warning, Xiun sect made preparations in advance, and its market town was temporarily preserved. In order to fight against the ghost spirit sect, the Purple Cloud sect sent a large number of disciples to the front line, and many outer sect elders also volunteered to join the ranks of fighting against the demons. You asked Fatty to spread news that was unfavorable to Xiao Han while trying to find out the news about Danta. In half a year, you have accumulated a large amount of spirit stones, enough to support you in building a small power. You secretly give these spirit stones to Fatty, and let him gradually build his own intelligence network and power. He was specifically told to keep an eye on Xiao Han's movements and any news about Danta. Through Fatda's inquiries, you have a deeper understanding of Danta's power. The interior of Danta is complicated and is currently jointly managed by Spiritual Venerable and Fire Venerable. These two are the three great masters of Danta along with Danzun. They are fellow disciples and are also the three famous alchemy masters of Danta, Huo, Ling, and Dan. It is said that the Dan Venerable has long been traveling around the world and no longer cares about worldly affairs. All matters of the Dan Tower are handled by the Spirit Venerable and the Fire Venerable. But you know where the Danzun is now, so the rumors from the outside world are not very accurate. In the first year and 8 months, both the immortals and demons were extremely furious. Because in the past 6 months, there has been a casual cultivator named Xiao Han who has been digging up people's ancestral graves everywhere, causing disaster to many sections. The Ghost Spirit sect even issued a huge reward, determined to catch this person. After hearing this news, you secretly laughed in your heart. This fat druid really played the role he set up diligently and conscientiously. This is good news for you. It can further divert attention and allow you to grow and develop in secret. In the second year, you left Xiun sect and headed towards Danta. 1 month later, you arrived at the sphere of influence under Danta's jurisdiction. You heard that Danta would recruit new disciples in 3 months, so you settled down in a nearby town, quietly waiting for the day when Danta would recruit new disciples. 3 months later, you arrived at Danta city and found that it was crowded with people. Monks from all over the world gathered here, hoping to become Danta's disciples. You blend in among them, observing the surroundings calmly. Many independent cultivators have extraordinary cultivation bases, and there are even several masters in the Jindan stage. This is a bit surprising to you. Doesn't Danta restrict the cultivation base when accepting disciples? With doubt in your mind, you approached and started a conversation with several casual cultivators. Only then did I learn that Danta focuses on the aptitude for alchemy, rather than the level of cultivation. No matter what your cultivation level is, as long as you have a talent for alchemy, you can become an outer disciple. If you perform well, you can be promoted to the inner gate. Even got personal guidance from the elders. What will surprise you even more is that Danta is recruiting talents. Even disciples from other sects, as long as they are interested in alchemy and have talent, can join in and learn. Therefore, Danta disciples are spread all over the world, and many major sects have Danta disciples serving as alchemy elders, teaching Danta's alchemy techniques and recipes. In return, these disciples must hand over 30% of their harvest to Danta every year. Learning this information, you are secretly delighted. I was originally worried that the cultivation level of the Jindan stage would be an obstacle, but now it seems that as long as you show enough talent for alchemy, you can enter the Dan Tower. In front of the simulator, Lin Yi finally understood Danta's strengths. Danta's own strength may not be top-notch, but it can stand among the top sects. The secret lies in its network of disciples all over the world. Each of these disciples is an alchemist and has his own group of followers. They usually make elixirs to help others and have accumulated extensive connections. Naturally, one person will respond to 100 calls at a critical moment. Lin Yi has a deep understanding of this. In his simulation, Xiun sect's experience was the best proof. In a short period of time, he became very successful in Xiun sect, which was closely related to his identity as an alchemist. If it weren't for the alchemist, whether he can join Xiun sect is still unknown. He recalled the fight with Fatty in Xiun sect. At that time, his strength was not as good as Fat DS. But a group of Zun sect disciples helped him capture Pangda without asking why. This is the alchemist's connections and skills. Lin Yi, I believe so. If a Yuanying stage cultivator wants to fight with a Jindan stage alchemist, an alchemist at the Jindan stage can definitely call on 3 Yuanying stage helpers. The power of Danta is not only that it has trained countless alchemists. What's more, it weaves these alchemists into a huge network of relationships. This network spreads across the entire world of immortal cultivation. Connect countless forces together. A large and solid alliance was formed. This network is the real source of Danta's power. The day before Danta accepted disciples, you arrived at Danta city and found that it was crowded with people. A rough estimate is that at least hundreds of thousands of people came from all directions, all wanting to try their luck and see if they could become a disciple of Danta. Fortunately, Danta city is large enough, with many inns and taverns in the city, which can accommodate this surging crowd. On the first day of accepting a disciple, you followed the crowd to Danta Square. Several elders with white hair and youthful faces stood in the air. Their auras were restrained, but they faintly revealed their powerful cultivation in the Jindan stage. The square was crowded with people, so dense that it seemed as if there was no end in sight. The elders didn't waste any time and directly announced the content of the first round of assessment. Identifying spiritual medicine. Hundreds of magical herbs were placed in the center of the square, with different years and properties. Examinees were required to accurately identify their names, years, and medicinal properties within the specified time. You walked to the elixir with confidence, and with your rich experience and the knowledge accumulated in the simulator, you easily completed the identification. In the square, some people were scratching their heads, some were flipping through jade slips, some were confident, but most were at a loss. After one round, only about 10,000 people out of 100,000 passed the assessment. The second round of assessment is even more brutal, requiring everyone to control the flames under the furnace. Danta provides a special furnace and ground fire. Participants must keep the flame stable and not let it get too big or too small. This not only tests the control of spiritual power, but also tests the understanding and talent of alchemy. After this round, only about 1,000 people successfully advanced. Such a horrible elimination rate makes you sigh. You originally thought that there would be a more difficult test next. Unexpectedly, the next day, Danta announced directly. The remaining 1,000 people were all admitted and became Danta's outer disciples. You and other new disciples received a set of brand new Danta disciple uniforms and officially became a member of Danta. Considering that you have reached the Jindan stage, Danta has given you due respect. I didn't ask you to be responsible for taking care of the spiritual medicine garden or fanning the fire for the inner disciples like other outer disciples. In the third year, it has been half a year since you entered Danta. Except for occasionally pretending to listen to the outer sect elders' explanations of their experience in alchemy, you spend the rest of your time practicing the 2 kinds of spiritual fire to refine your body. The semi-annual Outer Disciples Alchemy competition has begun. With your superb alchemy skills and precise control of flames, you won the first place in the competition. Without any suspense. A few days later, the spiritual master of Danta received you. He came straight to the point and asked where you learned your alchemy skills from. You were well prepared and told him half-truthfully that you were the disciple of the Dan master. Venerable Ling was shocked when he heard this and asked Venerable Dan about his recent situation. You tell him sadly that Dan Zun has unfortunately died at the hands of the Ghost Spirit sect. Upon hearing the tragic news, Venerable Ling was grief-stricken and burst into tears. He tells you about the deep friendship between him and Dan Zun for thousands of years, and laments the impermanence of life. You reveal a sad expression and remember the memory of the Dan Zun with him. The Spirit Master said that he would treat you as his apprentice and teach you the art of alchemy. In the days that follow, Master Ling will teach you everything he knows and often test your alchemy skills. When you demonstrated the alchemy skills inherited from the Dan Zun, he was delighted and respected you. Even more, you appear to be respectful to the spiritual master, but in your heart you remain vigilant. You noticed that another venerable of Danta, Venerable Fire, seemed to be hostile to you. There is always a subtle hint of coldness and scrutiny in his eyes. I don't know why, but when the other party found out that you are the disciple of Dan Zun, he did not show much enthusiasm towards you, but was wary of you in every way. Not only that, when you went to learn alchemy from Master Ling, you found that your cave was often secretly moved. Through your investigation, you discovered that the other party is the Fire Lord. Chapter 030. None of them are good. In front of the simulator, Lin Yi frowned. What's going on? Logically speaking, Fire Venerable and Pill Venerable are brothers. The spiritual master is so enthusiastic. Fire Lord shouldn't be so wary. What went wrong? Suddenly, Lin Yi thought of a possibility. That means Fire Lord won't become suspicious of himself, right? After all, Master Dan has been missing for many years. Appeared suddenly by himself. Claiming to be his disciple was bound to arouse suspicion. What's more, the alchemy skills he displayed, although on the surface, were in the same lineage as those of the alchemy master. But some subtle details may still reveal flaws. Thinking of this, he calmed down and continued to watch the simulator. It is said that blessing is not a disaster, and disaster cannot be avoided. Now that you have come, make the most of it. Rather than guessing here, let's continue with the simulation. See what happens next. In the third year, you have been away from reaching Danta for more than a year. This year, in addition to refining the elixir and refining your body, you have also been working hard to condense the elixir patterns. Your speed of condensing Danwen is getting slower and slower. You know, from 8 Danwen to 9 Danwen, it is a qualitative leap, so don't be impatient. While you are practicing steadily, you are secretly observing the Fire Lord's every move. In the fourth year, Fire Venerable found you. He asked about Dan Venerable's affairs seemingly unintentionally, but you keenly noticed that his eyes were full of suspicion. You responded calmly, answering each question one by one. Naturally, I concealed the fact that you poisoned Dan Zun. It was only said that Dan Zun was killed by the ghost spirit sect. Huo Zun was still skeptical. He said seriously that the ghost spirit sect had no need to kill Dan Zun. There didn't seem to be any deep hatred between them. You pretended to recall the past, and slowly said that you had heard from your master that the ghost spirit sect seemed to have discovered that your master had hidden a treasure, and that's why they killed him. When Fire Venerable heard the word treasure, his eyes suddenly lit up, and he asked if you had seen this treasure. You shook your head, indicating that you had never seen it, and Master Dan had never mentioned it to you. The Fire Venerable does not seem to give up, and asks you again, has the Dan Venerable ever taught you the cultivation method? You shook your head again and said firmly that it had never been taught. You said that you were practicing the secret family manual. It can only be passed down from father to son, not from father to son. You gradually realize that perhaps Fire Venerable knows some of Dan Venerable's secrets, which is why he is so wary of you. In the following days, Fire Venerable investigated you more and more frequently, and even forced you to demonstrate your own skills several times. And he said that he felt the power of the spiritual fire in you, which is very similar to the practice of Dan Zun. You naturally wouldn't agree, and you tactfully rejected his requests every time. However, your refusal deepened Fire Lord's suspicion. He left in anger and confined you to the cave, not allowing you to take even a single step out. In the fifth year, your Danwen still has not condensed to the 9th line. But your body refining realm has once again reached the Jindan stage. This is a pleasant surprise for you. During the days of house arrest, you have nothing to do except practice. This allows you to focus more on physical training, which may be a blessing in disguise. In the 6th year, you are still imprisoned in the cave, and Fire Venerable's suspicion of you has not diminished at all. He will come to investigate every once in a while, trying to find clues from you. You understand, he believes that you are related to the death of Dan Zun. No matter how you explain, it will be useless. This feeling of imprisonment makes you feel extremely tormented. You long for freedom and long to regain control of your own destiny. In the 7th year, you could no longer tolerate the imprisonment of the Fire Venerable, so you decided to give it a try and let the Spirit Venerable stand up for you. You believe that the spiritual master will definitely help you out of this difficult situation. You found an opportunity, sneaked out of your cave, and found the spiritual master. You pretend to be sad and tell the spiritual master. Your master, Master Dan, was seriously injured. You have asked Master many times about the whole matter. But the Master was unwilling to reveal it. Just say that it was a massacre among fellow disciples. If it gets out, I will be ashamed to face others. After hearing what you said, the expression on Master Ling's face became very strange. He was silent for a moment, then asked how much more you knew. Your heart tightens, realizing that things are not as simple as you thought. You answer carefully, afraid of missing any details. After listening to your story, Venerable Ling said in a cold tone that you know too much. There was a flash of murderous intent in his eyes, which made you shudder. He also asked you to go down and accompany your master. You realize you were wrong, or maybe you guessed wrong from the beginning. Perhaps the one who truly hates you is not Fire Reverend, but Spirit Reverend who has been caring for you since the beginning. You asked him desperately why this happened, and you said that you were going to die, and even if you died, you wanted to be a ghost who knew what was going on. The spiritual master is not in a hurry either. He tells you slowly and calmly. The master of the 3 of them found a secret book while exploring an ancient forbidden area. No one knows what this secret book contains, but it is said to be able to change a person's aptitude and improve the quality of their spiritual roots. However, the master of the 3 of them was seriously injured during that expedition and eventually died. So no one knew who this secret book was passed to at first. Finally, after much investigation, he found out that it was taken away by Dan Zun. He once asked for it from the Dan Master, asking for it to be shared. After all, the things left by the Master should be shared by the 3 of them. But the Dan Master kept it all to himself and refused to share it. Venerable Ling said that Master was seriously injured while exploring the ancient forbidden area and eventually died. He suspected that it was the Dan Zun who secretly made some moves in order to keep the secret book for himself. I didn't expect that after a few years, Master Dan's disciple, you, actually joined the Dan Pagoda, which gave him hope again. Originally, he thought that he would boil the frog in warm water and slowly get the whereabouts of the secret book from you. However, he was repeatedly obstructed by Fire Venerable, which made him very angry. When you saw Ling Zunzun say this, his expression became very scary, and his eyes were flashing with madness and greed. Just when he was about to kill you, the Fire Lord suddenly appeared, and a fierce battle broke out between the two. The 2 fought, and Fire Reverend was at a disadvantage. He told you to leave Danta immediately and never come back. You finally realized that Fire Venerable might be on the side of Pill Venerable. At the same time, Fire Reverend has not completely given up his suspicion of you, but in the end he couldn't find out whether what you said was true or not, so he imprisoned you. When the 2 sides were fighting, you took advantage of the chaos to leave Danta and went to the Triangle region. Seeing this, Lin Yi sighed, realizing that this trip to Danta was over. Because judging from the simulation, Fire Venerable and Pill Venerable should have a good relationship. On the surface, Venerable Ling seems to get along well with Venerable Dan. But he was the one who secretly hurt Danzun and tried to steal the flame spirit art. When he saved the dying Danzun, the injury to Danzun was caused by Ling Zun. This time I joined Danta myself. At the beginning, Master Ling played the emotional card in various ways, trying to get the information he wanted from me. Maybe he was discovered by Fire Lord, who then imprisoned him. It looks like imprisonment, but it is actually a form of protection. However, Fire Lord did not give up his suspicion of himself. So these two people are not very friendly to me. The reason why Fire Venerable finally fought with Spirit Venerable. That was also a dispute between them. Lin Yi felt that he actually didn't matter much. None of them are good. Lin Yi cursed loudly. These three brothers turned against each other just for a secret book. You fight with me, and neither of you gives in. Just wait. After I give birth to my baby, I will settle accounts with you one by one. A cold light flashed in Lin Yi's eyes. At the same time, he continued to watch the simulation. Chapter 031 Chaos Triangle. In the 9th year, you finally succeeded in condensing the golden elixir. The 9th elixir pattern shone brightly on the golden elixir. You feel the surging power in your body, and your heart is filled with joy and confidence. In the 10th year, you heard that a great war broke out in the Purple Cloud sect. The head of the sect, Patriarch Xiun, was injured, and the spiritual fire he was guarding was stolen. Rumor has it that it was Xiao Han who did it. This move led to the emergence of the Purple Cloud sect's powerful heavenly sword Divine Lord, who was in the spiritualization stage, but Xiao Han still managed to escape. In the same year, you also successfully refined the pill furnace of the alchemist, and your success rate in refining pills increased greatly. Triangle area, here are all kinds of people. The three forces of demons, deists, and monsters occupied this place, and exiled their sinful disciples here. This caused chaos in the area. But because of this, there is a lack of powerful alchemists here. Your superb alchemy skills make you feel at home here. The elixirs he refined were in short supply and his reputation grew rapidly. In the 12th year, you heard about the spiritual fire, which was said to be hidden in the deep sea in the extreme south. You know that it is difficult to accomplish anything by one person alone, so you summoned Fat Druid and began to plan a bigger layout. In the 14th year, you raised your arms and founded the Dao Alliance in the Triangle region, openly fighting against the demon cultivators and monster cultivators. You recruit talents from everywhere, bring them into the Dao League, use them for your own purposes, and your power gradually grows. In the 15th year, Fatty brought you a female cultivator named Xia Xiao Chan. You feed her poison every day. In the 16th year, the Dao League under your command has grown in power and has the potential to compete with the other two major forces in the Triangle region. You begin to integrate resources and accumulate strength for the next plan. In the 17th year, you set up the Triangle region Ruthless List to motivate the members of the Dao Alliance and attract more desperate criminals to join. In the Dao League, 13 foundation building monks stood out and were named 13 guardians by you, becoming the sharp blades in your hands. In the 18th year, 3 Jindan stage monks came here to join the Dao League, which further strengthened the Dao League. You are secretly delighted, you are one step closer to your goal. Under your special care, Xia Ziokin's cultivation has advanced by leaps and bounds, reaching the 12th level of Qi refining. Its attack power is so strong that even some cultivators in the early stages of foundation building feel afraid. Pangda has secretly established an intelligence network to continuously provide you with various information. In the same year, Fengling sect leader Lang Yu fell at the hands of a demon cultivator. In the 20th year, you thought the time was ripe, so you led the Dao Alliance to the deep southern sea to search for the Azure Sea Flame Heart. The deep sea is full of dangers, monsters are rampant, and the disciples of the Dao League have suffered heavy losses, with nearly half of them buried at the bottom of the sea. But you finally succeeded in getting the Jade Sea Flame Heart. Adding the 2 spiritual fires you had before, you now have 3 spiritual fires. They entwine, burn, and chase each other in your body, providing you with endless energy. In the 22nd year, you began to retreat and refine the 3 kinds of spiritual fire. The outside world is changing rapidly, and a genius named Lin Hao emerges and becomes famous. And Xiao Xiao Chan finally broke through to the foundation building stage, becoming even more beautiful and charming. In the 25th year, you finally completely refined the 3 kinds of spiritual fire. The golden elixir and the body cultivation elixir in the body also began to merge, and finally formed the yin yang qi elixir that you have never seen before. 3 spiritual flames slowly rotate around it. Your aptitude has therefore been raised to a higher level, from a 4th grade fire spiritual root to a 2nd grade fire spiritual root, reaching the level of a top grade spiritual root. In the 26th year, your alchemy skills improved by leaps and bounds, and your reputation spread far and wide, attracting more independent cultivators to join you. Now, you have 10 Jindan stage casual cultivators under your command. At the same time, with the elixir you refined, you successfully won over 2 Yuanying stage old monsters. The 5 Poison Old Man and the Black Heart Old Man. These 2 have been wandering around the Triangle region for hundreds of years. They are notorious for their viciousness and are ranked in the top 10 of the ruthless list. They are truly ruthless and cruel. In the 27th year, the Feng Ling sect was wiped out by Xiao Han. This incident shocked the world. And the immortal cultivation world was outraged and united against the common enemy. In the 28th year, you realize that this is a great time to integrate the power of the Triangle area and begin to actively plan. In the 30th year, thanks to your efforts, the immortal disciples in the Triangle region finally united as one. And all came under your command. Except for a few Yuanying stage old monsters who have hidden themselves from the world. You now control more than 20 Jindan stage cultivators, hundreds of foundation building cultivators, and tens of thousands of chi-refining disciples. The strength is strong enough to shake the entire Triangle area. In the 31st year, you led the Dao Alliance army to the city of Danta, demanding that Danta hand over the spiritual fire. This move completely angered Danta. They denounced you as a traitor to Danta and fought back strongly. In the 32nd year, the all-out war between you and Danta officially breaks out. The 5 Poison Old Man and the Black Heart Old Man are indeed the ruthless characters in the Triangle region. They defeated the Fire Lord and the Spirit Lord of Danta with overwhelming force. Danta suffered heavy losses and had to ask for help. In the 33rd year, the reinforcements from Danta arrived. You were surprised to find that among them there were 10 Yuanying stage old monsters and many Jindan stage cultivators, as well as the figure of Xiao Han. In this battle, the Dao Alliance suffered heavy casualties. Seeing that the situation was not good, the 5 Poison Old Man and the Black Heart Old Man slipped away. Many of your foundation building cultivators were almost wiped out, and most of your Jindan cultivators were also lost. Seeing that the situation was hopeless, you tried to escape in the chaos, but Xiao Han blocked your way. A war is inevitable. You were surprised to find that Xiao Han also controlled 3 kinds of spiritual fire. Purple Cloud Divine Fire, Lava True Fire, and a kind of icy cold flame you have never seen before. You are both in the Jindan stage, and both control 3 types of spiritual fire. Even they practice the same technique. Your attack methods are also surprisingly consistent. This battle lasted for more than 10 days, and both sides were evenly matched, with no clear winner. Suddenly, you feel that Xiao Han's aura has changed, and his voice has become that of Dan Zun. He looked at you and said, "My good disciple, you really surprised me. I didn't expect you to reach this level. By exploring on your own. You responded coldly, if you had really taken me as your disciple, neither of us would have gone down this path. Venerable Dan acknowledges your unparalleled talent, but he has no intention of stopping. Between heaven and earth, a gorgeous fire lotus slowly blooms, emitting an aura of destruction. This time, you only lasted 3 breaths before being swallowed by this terrifying fire lotus and eventually died. You are dead. Simulation ends. Start calculating this reward. In this simulation, you integrated physical cultivation with magic cultivation. Embarked on a different path, and your realm was raised to the early stage of Dan formation. You can get one of the following rewards. 1. The initial stage of Dan formation. 2. The alchemy furnace of the alchemy master that has been refined. 3. This simulation experience. 4th. Huangchuan Demon Map. 5. Purple Cloud Sex Dan Wen Heart Sutra. Number of simulations remaining, 0. Lin Yi raised the corners of his mouth, and smiled for the first time, which was rare. Not bad. This time it can be said to be a blessing in disguise. I originally wanted to take the Danta route. See if you can get Danta's spiritual fire. Unexpectedly, he found that Danta was more chaotic than he thought. Especially the feud between Master Dan and his fellow disciples, which involved himself. In the end, he was even forced to flee from Danta. I originally thought that I would definitely not be able to get the spiritual fire this time. Unexpectedly, in the Triangle region, I heard some unexpected news, the Blue Sea Flame Heart. It was beyond his expectation that he could get it this time. You should know that the 3 kinds of spiritual fire are combined in one body. Not only did it improve his spiritual roots, but it also greatly increased his strength. Triangle area, he had heard of that place before. But it was an extremely terrifying place where there was no rule of law at all, and burning, killing and looting were constantly going on there. I didn't expect that I could be so successful in the Triangle region. Could this be the arrival of his villain destiny? It is very difficult to cultivate an immortal. I didn't expect that I could get along well with those villains in the Triangle area. He even recruited 2 Yuanying stage monsters, the 5 Poison Old Man and the Black Heart Old Man, to be his thugs. But this also gave Lin Yi inspiration. If I can really integrate the power of the entire triangle, then there is no need for him to be afraid of the threats from Master Dan and his disciples. Instead, it is the other party who is afraid of me. Control the triangle area and command the heroes. He turned around and hunted down his former master and Xiao Han. Oh, and my cousin. Although I am not sure about my cousin's methods, the fact that he was able to reawaken his spiritual roots in such a short period of time is definitely extraordinary. He smiled at himself, maybe he really was suited to being a villain. The funny thing is, he originally just wanted to survive in this world. But he was forced into a desperate situation step by step, and now he has to wear the hat of the villain. Thinking of this, Lin Yi's eyes fell on the 5 options provided by the simulator. There was no simulated disagreement this time, meaning there was only one chance to choose. After much deliberation, he finally chose the initial stage of Jindan cultivation. After all, strong strength is the basis of survival and the cornerstone of revenge. A surge of power instantly surged into his danshan. The yin and yang golden elixir suddenly took shape, slowly rotating and emitting a mysterious light. 3 spiritual fires of different colors danced around the golden elixir. Like a loyal guard, guarding this powerful force. The purple cloud divine fire, the lava true fire, and the flame that comes from the heart of the blue sea. 3 completely different forces blend into each other yet coexist harmoniously. It makes Lin Yi's true energy more powerful and more domineering. Feeling the power surging in his body, a gleam of brilliance flashed in Lin Yi's eyes. The road ahead is long and full of crises. But now, he is no longer that small casual cultivator at the third level of Qi refining. He will crush all obstacles. Chapter 032 Slow Forward Simulation. After calming down, Lin Yi planned to continue the simulation. Although it is relatively smooth to venture into the triangle region on your own. But all the people under his command have ulterior motives. The foundation building period is okay and easier to control. The Jindan stage cannot be controlled, but can be lured with benefits. As for the two old monsters in the nascent soul stage, they are the 5 poison old man and the black-hearted old man. When these two guys saw a bargain ahead, they rushed ahead. When he saw Danta's people coming from behind, he ran faster than anyone else. Totally unreliable. It seems that they cannot be trusted. And he had to go to Xiun sect, because if the alchemy furnace in his hand was not repaired, it would become a locator. It is estimated that he was killed by Master Dan and his disciples before he could gain a foothold. Thinking of this, he gritted his teeth and took out another 1,000 spirit stones. I put it into the simulator with great pain. A new round of simulation begins. Simulation begins. On the first day, you saw the 4 Seas Immortal Alliance using a flying boat to pick up the independent cultivators from Meteorite Market who were joining the collection mission. You followed them slowly until they came to the teleportation array, then lay in ambush nearby, quietly waiting. 3 days later, the people from the 4 Seas Immortal Alliance walked out of the secret realm. You launched an attack on them brazenly. The people of the 4 Seas Immortal Alliance were caught off guard and were killed by you with one palm. You stole the Huangchuan demon map and destroyed all traces. You left there and flew towards the direction of Sangxian City. You came to Sangxian City, arrived at the city lord's mansion, and asked to see the city lord. The people of Sangxian City saw that you were an old ancestor in the Jindan stage, and treated you with great respect, and hurried to report to you. This time, not only the 2 city lords came out of retreat, but also the 2nd city lord Li Binglan, the 3 of them met you together. Before the people of Sangxian City ask, you tell them that the ghost spirit sect will eventually launch an attack in a year, and they must be prepared in advance. After hearing this, the people in Sangxian City were very shocked and asked you where you got the news from. Tell them that by chance, you found out that the 4 Seas Immortal Alliance was continuously transporting supplies to the ghost spirit sect. If you look closely at this matter, you will definitely be able to find clues. After hearing this, the 3 city lords of Sangxian City looked extremely cautious and said they would check carefully. Tell them that if war breaks out, you will send someone to contact them. Then you took out the Huangchuan magic map from your storage bag and said you could trade with them. The people from Sangxian City did a brief investigation and then agreed to the deal. You proposed to only accept spirit stones in exchange. The Lord of Sangxian City readily paid 80,000 spiritual stones, and you are very satisfied with this deal. You bid farewell to the Lord of Sangxian City and left this prosperous city. A few days later, you found a secluded courtyard in the market at the foot of Xiun Mountain and settled down temporarily. You have purchased a new alchemy furnace and a batch of rare alchemy materials, and are ready to start alchemy. In the first month, you will start refining pills in the market. With your cultivation in the Jindan stage and your rich experience in alchemy, your alchemy efficiency is extremely high and the quality is excellent. You not only refined the commonly used elixirs such as Huanglong pill, Zhenyuan pill, Juling pill, Xingyuan pill, etc., but you also successfully refined Xiwan pill used by Yuanying realm, and the success rate is not low. The monks in Xiun market are full of praise for the elixirs you refine, and respectfully call you the master of alchemy. Once your elixir is refined, people will line up to buy it, and the demand is far from enough to meet the supply. In the 3rd month, a Jindan stage elder from the Purple Cloud sect accidentally got the elixir you made, was very impressed, and came to visit you in person. He saw that your alchemy technique was unique and your success rate was extremely high. He was amazed, and immediately reported the matter to the Purple Cloud Patriarch. After hearing this, Ancestor Ziyun also developed a strong interest in you and came to check it out in person. He watched your alchemy process and was amazed at your superb skills. Sincerely invite you to join Ziyun sect and become the elder of the Alchemy Pavilion, and promise to give you generous treatment and resources. You gladly accepted the invitation of Ziyun Patriarch. You took out the alchemy furnace of Danzun and asked Ziyun Patriarch to help erase the mark of divine consciousness on it. Ancestor Ziyun wiped out the spiritual consciousness on the alchemy furnace without saying a word. In the 6th month, you officially joined the Purple Cloud sect and became the elder of the Alchemy Pavilion. You kept a low profile and devoted yourself to refining pills, and soon won the recognition of the inner disciples and elders. You are learning soul control in the Sutra library while searching for Fatda's whereabouts. A few months later, you finally got news about Fat DS. After finding Fatda, you subdued him instantly, and then used soul control to make Fatda obey your orders. You sent him out to do something secretly, to build a secret force for you, and you gave him a large amount of spirit stones. After doing this, you will start to make the elixir. 1 year and 5 months later, the demonic ghost spirit sect suddenly launched a large-scale invasion of the immortal market and small and medium-sized forces, and many places suffered a devastating disaster. The market under the Purple Cloud sect also suffered some losses. The entire sect was filled with anger and clamored to teach the ghost spirit sect a lesson. In order to fight against the ghost spirit sect, the Purple Cloud sect sent a large number of disciples to the front line. Many outer sect elders and even inner sect disciples also volunteered to join the fight against the demons. You ask Fatda to collect information while contacting Sangxian City. A few days later, Fatda sent a message saying that Sangxian City was very grateful for your previous warning. However, they did not seize the opportunity and were half believing and half doubting, so the ghost spirit sect robbed them of many of their resources. However, Sangxian City is willing to form an alliance with you. After listening to Fatda's report, you asked him to continue to gather information and did not immediately form an alliance with Sangxian City. You know in your heart that what you need is not an ally, but a force that can be used for your benefit. Although the Three Immortals City is powerful, it is still far from enough compared to your ultimate goal. You refined another batch of elixirs and left them in Ziyun sect, then set off for the Dan Tower. In the 2nd year, you arrived at Danta. Ding! The simulation mode has changed and switched to the small event slow forward mode. Just now, Lin Yi suddenly saw the operation button on the simulation panel and clicked it. Suddenly the simulation mode was switched. He wanted to see what events he would experience in Danta if it was a slow-motion simulation of small events. Previously, they were all simulations of major events. Many of them are measured in years, skipping many things. It also caused him to overlook many important simulation plots. Below, we will simulate the plot for you in slow motion. This time, you did not participate in the selection as a casual cultivator, but came directly to Danta City and asked to meet the Fire Venerable. 1 day later, the Fire Lord received you. You came straight to the point and stated that you were the disciple of Danzun. This time, one reason for coming here is to recognize one's ancestors. The second is to investigate the cause of Master's death. When Fire Venerable heard that Dan Venerable had died, he was stunned for a long time, unable to believe it. He asked you how to prove that you are the disciple of Danzun. You then took out the alchemy furnace of the alchemist and told him that this was taught by your master. When Fire Venerable saw the alchemy furnace, he burst into tears and couldn't speak. You also said that when the master was alive, he mentioned that he had only one close friend in Danta, and that was the Fire Venerable. After hearing this, Fire Venerable slowly said that in Dan Tower, Dan Venerable had two other senior brothers. He was the eldest senior brother, and there was a second senior brother, Spirit Venerable. Your expression turned stern, and you said in a deep voice. Master once said that he was injured because of the people in Danta. You don't know who it is, but since he was able to injure the master, his strength must be extraordinary. After listening to your story, the Fire Lord looked solemn and said after a moment of silence. This matter is of great importance and involves a wide range of issues. We need to consider it carefully and conduct a thorough investigation. During this time, you should stay in Danta and do not move around at will. You had expected this in your heart, and responded calmly, I will follow your orders, Your Excellency. The Fire Venerable immediately arranged a quiet cave for you and sent disciples to guard it strictly. A few days later, the Fire Venerable sent someone to invite you to his cave for a chat. You followed the disciples of Danta to the cave of the Fire Lord, bowed respectfully, and then stood aside. And waited without being humble or arrogant. Fire Lord saw that you behaved well, a hint of appreciation flashed in his eyes, and he nodded and said. This is Elder Swanyi, from Dan Valley, and he is a close friend of your master. He is also a highly respected master of alchemy. This time, we are here to investigate the cause of your master's death and confirm your identity. Upon hearing this, you immediately bowed and greeted Elder Swanyi. Elder Swanyi has a kind face, nods slightly at you, and says in a gentle voice. Don't be so reserved. I came here just to find out the truth. Chapter 033, Senior Brother Danta. In front of the simulator, Lin Yi frowned. It turns out that the slow-motion simulation will even show the dialogue. However, he also learned more information in this way. But I didn't expect that Fire Venerable would call everyone from Dan Valley. Dan Gu's appearance was completely unexpected to him. Although Dan Valley and Dan Tower are both related to alchemy, their natures are completely different. Danta is a sect force. The Dan Valley is a loose alliance of countless alchemists. It is more free and larger. According to Lin Yi's understanding, Dan Valley's history is much longer than Dan Tower's, and can even be traced back to ancient times. Almost all the elixir recipes and alchemy techniques originated from Dan Valley. This force never gets involved in any disputes, and only focuses on alchemy and communication. They have no sectarianism and are always inclusive. Because of this, although Dan Valley is low-key, it is a true giant in the world of immortal cultivation, and its influence even exceeds that of many top sects. Lin Yi thought to himself that the emergence of Dan Valley made things more complicated. He must be more cautious in order to take the initiative in the next game. Thinking of this, Lin Yi couldn't help but sigh that he had underestimated the foundation of the world's top sects. In the last simulation, he led the people of the Triangle region to attack Danta, but failed to force out its true strength. He even knew nothing about the types of Danta's spiritual fire and the hidden masters. The purpose of attacking Danta was to investigate the truth. As a result, Danta issued a call and 10 Yuanying monsters came and easily broke his offensive. He hopes to gain something this time. While the simulation is ongoing, Lin Yi cannot interfere or change it. You can only watch the simulated characters make choices based on their existing experiences and environment. All he could do was observe, wait, summarize the experience and make new plans after the simulation. Looking forward to a breakthrough in the next simulation. With such thoughts in mind, Lin Yi focused his eyes on the simulator again. Waiting for further development of the plot. Elder Swanyi Dang stroked his beard and said slowly. I am very familiar with the alchemy techniques of the alchemist. I came here today because I heard the bad news about the alchemist and was very sad. I also want to meet the successor of the alchemist. He paused, staring at you with sharp eyes. Would you please let me see the unique skills of the alchemist? You bowed and said respectfully, I will obey you, young man. Elder Xuanyi stroked his beard and smiled. You are the descendant of the alchemist master, and you have some connection with the alchemy valley. Moreover, you have reached the Dan formation stage and have a noble status. You don't need to be so formal. You humbly said, in front of the senior, courtesy should not be abandoned. Otherwise, won't people say that the younger generation is ill-mannered? These words made Elder Xuanyi and Lord Huo nod their heads secretly, and they admired you even more. You no longer refuse, and with a wave of your sleeves, the alchemy furnace falls steadily in front of you. The true essence circulated, and a cluster of spiritual fire slowly ignited in the palm of his hand. The dark blue flame danced and emitted terrifying spiritual power fluctuations. When Lord Huo and Elder Xuanyi saw this, they were both startled and stood up suddenly, staring at the spiritual fire in your hand with burning eyes. Spiritual fire is the treasure that alchemists dream of. It can not only greatly increase the success rate of pills, but also refine the quality of pills. However, controlling spiritual fire requires powerful spiritual consciousness and true essence, and usually, only cultivators in the nascent soul stage can barely control it. At this moment, a ball of flame rose from Elder Xuanyi's hand. The orange-yellow flame was dazzling and emitted a heart-pounding high temperature, as if it could burn everything in the world. You secretly swallowed your saliva and suppressed the greed in your heart that wanted to take this spiritual fire for yourself. The strength of Dan Valley is far beyond your imagination. An elder can sacrifice spiritual fire at will. This background is unfathomable. Elder Xuanyi's eyes are as sharp as torches as he examines the dark blue spiritual fire in your hand with a complicated expression. He turned to look at the Fire Lord, a trace of envy in his eyes. Danta is indeed full of talented people, and another genius has emerged. You are confused and can't help asking, "Excuse me, Senior, who was the last genius?" The Fire Venerable stroked his beard with a bit of pride and smiled. The last one was naturally your master, the Dan Venerable. As soon as the Fire Reverend finished speaking, he signaled you to continue refining the elixir. You take a deep breath, open the alchemy furnace, and the blue spiritual fire in your palm flows into the bottom of the furnace, burning fiercely. You did not choose to refine ordinary elixirs, but directly tried to refine the Xiwen pill. This kind of elixir can only be taken by Yuanying stage cultivators. No one except Yuanying stage alchemists can make it. Perhaps it was due to good fortune, or perhaps it was due to the exquisiteness of the inheritance passed down by the Danzun. You succeeded in refining the pills in one furnace, and each one was full and fragrant. Honorable Fire and Elder Xuanyi were both shocked when they saw this. You are able to refine the Yuan Dan across levels, which proves that your attainments in alchemy are enough to be on par with them. The way they looked at you changed instantly, with more respect and less scrutiny. Elder Xuanyi looked at you with a complicated look in his eyes and said slowly, "From your alchemy skills, I seem to see the shadow of the alchemist." Thinking back to the past, that close friend also refined the Xiwen pill during the Jindan stage, which made his peers in the entire Dan Valley unable to raise their heads. I didn't expect that after so many years, his disciples would be so outstanding. Huo Zun watched you skillfully use Dan Zun's alchemy skills, tears flashed in his eyes, and his excitement was beyond words. You put away the spiritual fire and the alchemy furnace, and asked respectfully, "Elder Xuanyi, have I passed this assessment?" Elder Xuanyi stroked his beard and smiled, "You are the disciple of Dan Zun, there is no doubt about that." The smile gradually faded, and Elder Xuanyi's expression became solemn. He asked in a deep voice, "What do you know about the death of your master, Master Dan?" You were startled in your heart, and secretly said, "I am coming," but your face remained calm and you replied respectfully, "I don't know much, I just heard that he was attacked by his enemies. Elder Swanyi sighed and said. Venerable Dan has a deep connection with Dan Valley. His death is not only a loss for Dan Tower, but also a loss for Dan Valley. Several seniors in the valley are very concerned about this matter and have been trying to find out the truth. Lin Yi was shocked. The death of Dan Zun actually involved such a wide range of people. The attention of seniors in Dan Valley made him realize the seriousness of the situation. The so-called seniors, in the mouth of Qi refining cultivators, may refer to foundation establishment. Cultivators. In the mouth of a cultivator in the foundation establishment stage, it may refer to a cultivator in the core formation stage. And coming from the mouth of Elder Swanyi who is in the nascent soul stage, he must be a being with profound cultivation and unfathomable strength. Moreover, according to Elder Swanyi, there were not just one but several Dan Valley seniors who were paying attention to this matter. This is enough to prove that Master Dan not only has a high status in Dan Tower, but also holds a pivotal position in Dan Valley. The development of the situation obviously exceeded Lin Yi's expectations. His eyes involuntarily fell on the simulation panel, and his mind was filled with a myriad of thoughts. The Fire Lord stares at you with burning eyes and says in a deep voice. Nephew, what do you know about the death of your master, Master Dan? This is a matter of great importance, so I hope you can tell me in detail. You take a deep breath, your eyes turn red, and you pretend to be choked up. Before his death, the master only said one sentence, fellow disciples are killing each other, and then, he passed away. As for the rest, I really don't know. Your voice was trembling, as if you had witnessed the tragic death of your master with your own eyes. It was very moving. Honorable Huo and Elder Swanyi looked at each other and both frowned. Elder Swanyi suddenly stepped forward and asked with concern. Nephew, did your master leave any relics? You quickly took out the alchemy furnace left by your master, presented it with both hands, and choked up. Before master passed away, he only gave this alchemy furnace to his disciple, saying that it would be used for alchemy in the future. Elder Swanyi took the alchemy furnace, examined it carefully, and handed it back to you. He said in a deep voice. This furnace is made of meteorite iron from outer space. It is indeed a personal item for the Dan Master. The Fire Lord patted your shoulder and said in a gentle tone. From now on, you will stay in Danta and practice with peace of mind. Now that your master is gone, Danta is your home. From today on, you are Danta's senior brother. Chapter 034 Half Volume of Flame Spirit Art. 1 month later, the moon was dark and the wind was strong. You sit cross-legged in the room practicing, and suddenly you feel a cold breath approaching. You were startled, and said calmly, since the master uncle is here, why should we hide our heads and show our tails? As soon as the voice fell, a figure slowly walked out from the darkness. It was Master Ling. He looks at you, amazed. It is true that heroes emerge from youth. Although the Danzun has passed away, he has taught such an outstanding disciple. You are alert in your heart, but your face remains calm. I wonder what's the matter with Uncle Master's visit so late at night. You naturally know that the other party is in opposition to Danzun. The spiritual master smiled sinisterly and said, Little guy, don't play tricks on me. What is your real purpose in coming to Danta? You looked at him coldly and said word by word. My master, Venerable Dan, was severely injured and eventually died. The one who hurt him was none other than his fellow disciple. You paused, your eyes sharp. I came to Danta this time to investigate the cause of master's death and find out the mastermind behind it. A hint of coldness flashed in the eyes of the spiritual reverend, so, you know who hurt your master. You look him in the eye without fear, yes, I know. The spiritual master suddenly burst into laughter. So what even if you knew? This is Danta. If I want to kill you, it's easy. The corners of your mouth slightly raised, revealing a sneer. What are you laughing at? Ling Zun said angrily. Laugh at your stupidity. You fought back rudely. Dan Valley is already investigating the cause of my master's death, and several seniors in the spiritualization stage are very concerned about this matter. If you take action, Dan Valley will definitely investigate the matter thoroughly. Do you think you can escape responsibility by then? The expression on Lord Ling's face suddenly changed, and a trace of panic flashed in his eyes. You suddenly said calmly, Uncle Master, you and I are the same kind of people. The spiritual master was stunned, not knowing what was going on. You slowly said. When my master was seriously injured, he did not die immediately, but lingered on for several years. Before he died, he told me personally that the person who hurt him was you, Venerable Ling. The spiritual master trembles all over and stares at you intently, with a strong pressure and momentum, locking you firmly. Faced with the overwhelming pressure from the spiritual master, you remained calm, even with a hint of sarcasm. Uncle Master, this is Danta, and the Fire Lord is not far away. Are you sure you want to start here? You paused, your tone revealing confidence. What's more, I have secretly trained a group of subordinates outside Danta. As long as something happens to me, they will immediately rush to Dan Valley and make our conversation public. By then, even if you are a Yuanying elder, it will be difficult for you to escape, right? The murderous intent in the eyes of Ling Zun gradually faded, and his tone became a little deeper. What do you want to do? You calmly answer, cooperation. As long as you agree to cooperate with me, I can give you what you want. Ling Zunjia laughed out loud as if he had heard a joke. What a wishful thinking! I am a cultivator in the nascent soul stage, what can you have that can impress me? You smiled mysteriously, for example. Flame spirit technique. As soon as these words came out, the spiritual energy around the spiritual venerable instantly burst out, surging like a flood that broke through a dam, as if it was going to swallow you up. But he suppressed this force tightly, his eyes full of shock and disbelief. You remain as calm as ever, staring at him quietly. The spiritual master's voice was hoarse and trembling. The flame spirit art is really in your hands. In front of the simulator, Lin Yi had a smile on his face. This was part of his careful planning. The three brothers of Dan Zun turned against each other for the Yan Ling Ju, and even did not hesitate to kill each other. The value of this secret book is evident. The reason why he released the news about the flame spirit technique was precisely because it was inside a simulator. In reality, this has not happened yet. Even if he gave the secret book to someone in the simulation, that person in reality has not received it yet. Therefore, this secret book is regarded as a treasure in the eyes of Master Dan and his disciples. In simulation, there is not that much value. Besides, he is not the only one who practices this secret book. A flash of greed flashed across Ling Zun's eyes, and his breathing became rapid. He stares at you intently, as if he wants to see through you. You raised your hand to interrupt what he was about to say, and said slowly, Uncle Master, don't worry. I only have half a scroll of the flame spirit art in my hand. Only half a scroll. Ling Zun's eyes gleamed. Where's the other half? This is the key to my cooperation with my uncle. Your tone is calm, but with unquestionable confidence. I need the help of my uncle to obtain the other half of the flame spirit art. The spiritual master sneered. Are you threatening me? If I kill you, this half volume of the flame spirit art will also be mine. You meet his gaze without fear, with a hint of sarcasm on your lips. Master, do you think I dare to come to Danta without any preparation? Since I dared to come, I am sure I can retreat safely. If Master Uncle makes a move, I'm afraid he won't even be able to touch the edge of this half volume of the Flame Spirit Art. The eyes of Master Ling flickered, and the sneer on his face gradually disappeared. He looked you up and down, with a hint of admiration in his eyes. You are indeed different from Dan Zun. You are much smarter than him. You laughed. Same here, doesn't Master Shi know how to judge the situation? You two look at each other and smile, and everything is said without words. Tell me, what do you want? Asked the spiritual master in a deep voice. The flame spirit art can be handed over to Uncle Master. You paused, your tone becoming serious. But now is not the right time. I must first see the sincerity of my uncle. Sincerity? The spiritual master raised his eyebrows. What sincerity do you want? Spiritual fire, you said word by word. I want Danta's spiritual fire. The spiritual master shook his head, with a hint of helplessness in his tone. You think too much. The ghost fire of the underworld is not in my hand, but in the hand of Dan Lioxian, the Supreme Elder of Danta. When you first heard that Danta actually had such a person, you were stunned. Dan Lioxian? Who is this person? Why have I never heard of him? The Venerable Ling explained. Dan Lioxian has existed for countless years. It is said that he has lived for at least 100,000 years and has long since stopped caring about worldly affairs. It is almost impossible to take the netherworld will-o-wisp from him. Your heart sank, and you asked, what is the current level of cultivation of the Dan Elder? The Venerable Ling shook his head. No one knows this. He hasn't appeared in the world for a long time. You are silent. The existence of Dan Lioxian has undoubtedly added a huge variable to your plan. In the next few days, you have been practicing hard in Danta, improving your strength while secretly looking for a way to obtain spiritual fire, but you have never found anything. A few days later, Master Ling found you again, with a hint of impatience in his tone. Where is the flame spirit art you promised to give me? When will you give it to me? You were well prepared. You took out a half-copied secret book from your storage bag and handed it to Master Ling. This is the first half of the flame spirit art, which can only be cultivated to the golden core stage. Ling Zun took the secret book and studied it carefully, as if he had found a treasure. His eyes sparkled with excitement. A few days later, Master Ling found you again. This time, his attitude towards you was obviously much closer, and there was more trust in his tone. This flame spirit technique is indeed extremely mysterious, but if you want to practice this technique, you must have the help of spiritual fire. The spiritual fire of Danta is in the hands of the immortal Dan, and I have no way of getting my hands on it. Although Dan Valley also has several kinds of spiritual fire, it is extremely difficult to obtain them. You were moved and said slowly, Uncle Master, besides Dan Tower and Dan Valley, there is another place that may have spiritual fire. The spiritual master immediately became interested and asked hastily, where? Your lips curl up slightly and you utter a few words. Chapter 035 Breaking Through Tianxian Dao Palace. Lin Yi looked at the text displayed in the simulator with a frown on his face. The conversation between Master Ling and himself deviated from what he had expected. He originally planned to take advantage of Ling Zun's desire for the flame spirit art and guide him step by step to steal the Danta spirit fire for him. But I didn't expect that they would turn their target to Ziyun sect. What's going on? Lin Yi murmured to himself. The simulator is out of control again. He realized that the characters in the simulator were not behaving exactly as he had programmed them to. Instead, they will make adjustments based on changes in the environment and their own personality. This also means that he cannot fully control the direction of the simulation. You must always be alert to possible accidents. In this case, let's speed up the simulation. Ding! The simulation progress has been accelerated. In the 6th year, you led Master Ling to the market at the foot of the Purple Cloud Sect Mountain. You did not state that you are now the alchemy elder of the Purple Cloud sect. Because there was news about Fat Day. Xiao Han has already started refining pills here, intending to join the Purple Cloud sect. You knew Xiao Han's intentions very well, so you told Master Ling that only by showing extraordinary alchemy skills could you attract the attention of the Purple Cloud sect. Ling Zun was overjoyed when he heard this, and immediately opened a pill shop on the east side of the market, responding to Xiao Han on the west side. In order to join the Purple Cloud sect, the two sides started a competition of alchemy skills. Secretly, you sneak back to Ziyun sect and tell the Ziyun patriarch to be careful and alert. Too evil-minded people have come to the market and intend to steal the sect's spiritual fire. Ancestor Ziyun did not dare to neglect and immediately transferred the spiritual fire to the small world, where it was guarded by the heavenly sword Divine Lord himself. All of a sudden, elixirs appeared in Ziyun market, and the prices dropped sharply. In the 7th year, a great battle broke out at the foot of Ziyun sect. According to the disciples of Ziyun sect, two alchemists in Fangxi fought over territory. You are secretly happy in your heart. Everything is in your plan. The fight between Dan Zun and Ling Zun was caused by you. After a while, Xiao Han and Ling Zun's disappeared from the market town at the foot of Ziyun sect mountain, and their whereabouts became a mystery. You understand, as long as Ling Zun and Xiao Han are fighting, Xiao Han will have no time to care about you. In the 8th year, Fat Da tells you that he has used the resources you gave him to initially build an intelligence network in the Triangle region, which can be used to gather information. At the same time, he told you that he had heard that a spiritual fire had been discovered in Tianxian Dao Palace. You immediately rushed to the Triangle area. The Triangle region is a hodgepodge of people, with the forces of demons, shamans, and monsters entrenched. Each of them exiled their sinful outcasts here, causing the area to become chaotic. But because of this, there is a lack of powerful alchemists here. You asked Fatty to lead the way with the elixir earlier, and you have already won over several hundred people. So, you raised your arms and established the Dao League in the Triangle region. You recruit talents from everywhere, bring them into the Dao League, use them for your own purposes, and your power gradually grows. In the 10th year, you successfully refined the alchemy furnace of the alchemy master, and your success rate in alchemy has greatly increased. In the 11th year, you began to integrate the resources of the Triangle region and accumulate strength. For the next plan, you discovered that although the Triangle area is chaotic, it is rich in minerals and spiritual medicines, but lacks effective development. In the 12th year, you set up the Triangle region Ruthless List to motivate the Triangle region monks and attract them to challenge each other and deepen the hostile relationship. The establishment of the Ruthless List really caused a huge sensation. Countless desperate people killed each other for fame and fortune. This gives you the opportunity to rapidly expand the power of the Dao Alliance. In the Dao League, 13 foundation building monks stood out and were named 13 guardians by you, becoming the sharp blades in your hands. These 13 people each have their own unique skills, are loyal, and have made many contributions to you. In the 13th year, 3 Jindan stage cultivators came here to join the Dao League, which further strengthened the Dao League. You are secretly delighted, you are one step closer to your goal. FATDA's secret intelligence network continuously provides you with various information. In the 14th year, the 3 city lords of Sangxian City joined the Dao League, and along with them came tens of thousands of independent cultivators. The joining of the 3 immortal cities has brought the Dao Alliance's momentum to its peak, and it almost controls the entire Triangle region. In the 15th year, you began to practice in seclusion and delve into the art of alchemy. You have combined the many acquired elixir recipes with your own insights to create many unique elixirs. These pills can not only improve your cultivation, but also have various miraculous effects. In the 16th year, your alchemy skills have improved by leaps and bounds, and your reputation has spread far and wide, attracting more independent cultivators to join you. Now, you have 10 Jindan stage casual cultivators under your command. At the same time, with the elixir you refined, you successfully won over 2 Yuanying stage old monsters. The 5 Poison Old Man and the Black Heart Old Man. These two have been wandering around the Triangle region for hundreds of years. They are notorious for their viciousness and are ranked in the top 10 of the ruthless list. They are truly ruthless and cruel. It was also in this year that you contacted the spiritual master through Fatty's intelligence network. Reverend Ling is now being hunted down by the forces behind Venerable Dan and Xiao Han, like a stray dog. In a miserable state. He came to the Triangle region and actually wanted to be the king here. As a result, you were severely punished by the 5 Poison Old Man and the Black Heart Old Man around you, and you have become honest since then. In the 20th year, you realize that this is a great time to integrate the power of the Triangle area and begin to actively plan. Secretly contacting various forces, promising huge profits, using coercion and inducement, and constantly eroding and expanding their own power. The outside world is changing rapidly, and a genius named Lin Hao emerges and becomes famous. At the young age of 20, he has already reached the Jindan stage. His talent is so high that it is astonishing. In the 21st year, under your careful planning and strong tactics, the Triangle Domain's immortal forces were finally integrated and all came under your command. You have become the true overlord of the Triangle region. No one dares to disobey your orders. Except for a few Yuanying stage old monsters who have hidden themselves from the world. You now control more than 20 Jindan stage cultivators, hundreds of foundation building cultivators, and tens of thousands of chi-refining disciples. The strength is strong enough to shake the entire Triangle area. You begin to rectify the internal affairs, formulate more stringent rules and regulations, and consolidate your own rule. In the 22nd year, you led the Dao Alliance army and marched towards the Tianxian Dao Palace, demanding that they hand over the spiritual fire, the fire of Nirvana. Tianxian Dao Palace was very angry about this, flatly refused, and launched a counterattack. A great war broke out. The 3 Yuanying stage ancestors of Tianxian Dao Palace were entangled by the 5 Poison Old Man, the Black-Hearted Old Man, and the Spiritual Venerable under your command. The remaining disciples of Tianxian Dao Palace were far from being a match for the Dao Alliance in terms of numbers, and they either fled in panic or were killed on the spot. You broke through the Tianxian Dao Palace's mountain protection formation with overwhelming force and seized the Nirvana flame. Chapter 036, Go straight in and grab. Seeing the scene in the simulator where I seized the fire of Nirvana and broke through the Tianxian Dao Palace, Lin Yi couldn't help but mutter to himself. Good boy, I actually did it. It seems that I am quite good at being a villain. He recalled the hardships he had gone through and felt mixed emotions. The Triangle region, an area regarded as a land of sin, became the cradle of his rise. Under his leadership, those desperate criminals burst out with such powerful strength. He looked at the ruins of Tianxian Taoist Palace in the simulator again, and a sense of inexplicable pleasure surged in his heart. Back then, I, Lin Yi, was just a low-grade spiritual root and was rejected by Tianxian Dao Palace. Now, I am returning to my hometown in this way. This taste is really amazing. Lin Yi shook his head and smiled self-deprecatingly. If I can't become your disciple, I can still get in. It seems that once I really integrate the power of the Triangle region, I may be able to go north and besiege the Tianxian Taoist Palace. I will ask them then. The disciple they looked down upon back then. Now that he has returned with thunderous force, how do they feel? He had already seen the high-ranking elders and disciples of the Tianqian Taoist palace trembling in front of him with pale faces. Humph, when the time comes, I can recruit them all as my brothers, torture them in every way every day, and make them serve tea and water. It seems that it is not impossible. A cold light flashed in Lin Yi's eyes, and he was secretly calculating in his heart. Thinking of this, he looked at the simulator again with great interest. You led the Dao League to break through the Tianqian Dao Palace and forcefully seized the Nirvana flame, shocking the entire Xian Dao section. Your name, Lin Yi, has also become completely famous due to this incident, but this fame is more of a bad reputation. The Dao League you lead has become a powerful faction, but it has also been branded as an evil section. In the 33rd year, you began to refine the fire of Nirvana. 4 flames swirl and chase each other within your body, and finally merge into one. You have broken through to the middle stage of Jindan, and your strength has reached a new level. At the same time, your spiritual roots are further improved, reaching the first level of fire spiritual roots, and becoming the best spiritual roots. In the 34th year, the genius Lin Hao suddenly appeared and called out to you, threatening that you would die at his hands. He announced a shocking secret to the world: you and he were cousins. Your mother is so vicious that she used a secret technique to dig out his spiritual roots in order to let you have spiritual roots. After his spiritual roots were dug out, he reawakened his spiritual roots with amazing perseverance. As soon as these words came out, there was an uproar in the world of immortal cultivation. It turns out that the reason you are able to be ranked among the 3 great geniuses at such a young age, along with Xiao Han and Lin Hao, is because you transplanted someone else's spiritual roots. Everyone condemned your mother's viciousness and your shameless behavior. The Dao League was affected by this, and its morale was weakened. Many people fled secretly, and the disciples of the 3 Immortals City also left the Dao League. On the contrary, your cousin Lin Hao's power is growing stronger and stronger. In the 35th year, the alchemist returned to the alchemy tower with his disciple Xiao Han, and revealed your evil act of killing your master to the world. For a time, the world of immortal cultivation was in an uproar, and everyone speculated on the hidden truth behind this. Venerable Dan accused you of being ungrateful and poisoning your mentor, using a strange poison to kill him so that only his soul remained alive in the world. Once you said this, you were branded as a master killer and traitor and were listed as the devil of the world along with the Ghost Spirit sect. The Purple Cloud sect has severed ties with you, and the Dan Tower has even offered a bounty for your life, promising to refine the heaven-repairing pill for the person who killed you. Countless monks are attracted by you and are eyeing you covetously. In the 36th year, the situation of being deserted by friends and relatives became increasingly serious. The 5 Poison Old Man and the Black Heart Old Man announced their withdrawal from the Dao League. He claimed that he had different beliefs from you and would not work with you, and that he was unwilling to be associated with the evildoer who poisoned his master, and he was even afraid that you would secretly poison him. Many Jindan stage disciples also fled, and the Dao alliance you worked so hard to build fell apart. In the end, only Fat Druid, who was controlled by your secret magic, and a spiritual master who was hunted down by Danta, remained by your side. In the 37th year, your cousin Lin Hao, who had become famous, led his Bushan League to hunt you down. In the 38th year, you, who are desperate, finally choose to fight a life and death battle with your cousin Lin Hao. You firmly believe that with your current mid-stage Jindan cultivation, plus the 4 kinds of spiritual fire fused in your body, you are enough to defeat Lin Hao and turn the tide. In the 39th year, you and Lin Hao launched a world-shaking battle, but were shocked to find that he had also entered the middle stage of Jindan. His physique is so strong, as if it is made of diamond and indestructible. Even the 4 kinds of spiritual fire that you are so proud of cannot harm him in the slightest. The spiritual master wanted to sneak attack Lin Hao, but was instantly blown up by a vine that fell from the sky. You are shocked, finally getting a glimpse of Lin Hao's background. You lose all desire to fight and choose to flee. In the 41st year, during the 2 years of fleeing, you ran out of spiritual power and eventually fell under the attack of Lin Hao and his men. Simulation ends. Start calculating this reward. You have raised your realm to the middle stage of Jindan in this simulation. You can get one of the following rewards. 1. The cultivation level of the middle stage of Jindan. 2. The alchemy furnace of the alchemy master that has been refined. 3. This simulation experience. 4. 100,000 low-grade spirit stones. Number of simulations remaining, 0. What on earth is that cane? Lin Yi frowned, his fingertips tapping the table unconsciously. The vine that appeared out of thin air in this simulation became an indelible shadow in his heart. The vine struck lightly and whipped the nascent soul stage spiritual venerable to pieces. This kind of strength is truly horrifying. It seems that I am still too high profile. Lin Yi whispered to himself. He had always believed that the reason why Lin Hao was able to condense again after his spiritual roots were dug out was entirely due to his own extraordinary talent. Now it seems that there must be an unfathomable force hidden behind Lin Hao. Last simulation. The reason why he didn't discover this force. It's not that the other party doesn't exist, but that the other party simply doesn't bother to attack him. After all, Lin Yi was only at the foundation building stage at that time. And Lin Hao is already a cultivator in the Jindan stage. There is a huge disparity in strength between the two sides, so the other party naturally doesn't need to care. And this time, Master Ling tried to interfere in the decisive battle between him and Lin Hao. This brought about a thundering attack from the hidden boss behind Lin Hao. Keep a low profile, you must keep a low profile. Lin Yi kept warning himself in his heart. A being that can kill a nascent soul cultivator in one strike is definitely not someone he can easily provoke. However, thinking of the Tianxian Taoist palace spiritual fire that was accidentally obtained in this simulation, Lin Yi couldn't help but raise the corners of his mouth slightly. Compared to the previous careful planning, this time, the process of him obtaining the spiritual fire from the Tianxian Taoist palace can be described as simple and crude. Just rush in and grab it. Chapter 037 Overseas Fairy Island. Help me to obtain the middle stage of Jindan cultivation. As Lin Yi finished speaking, a tremendous amount of energy surged into his body like a rushing river. The originally solid golden elixir suddenly expanded, and a dazzling light flashed on its surface. At the same time, a wisp of red flame appeared out of thin air, swirling and jumping around the golden elixir. Like a nimble elf, emitting a hot breath. There were originally 3 flames, but now they have become 4. First grade fire spirit root, done. Lin Yi felt that his compatibility with the spiritual energy of heaven and earth had significantly deepened. A happy smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. Compared to 100,000 low-grade spirit stones, this mid-stage Jindan cultivation and first-grade fire spirit root are undoubtedly more precious. Although 100,000 spirit stones were enough for him to squander for a while, they could not fundamentally change his situation. In this simulation, Ling Zun's actions also surprised Lin Yi. This original enemy would actually fight alongside him until the very last moment. He knew that Venerable Ling did not have any life and death relationship with him. It's just that the fate of the two is tightly tied together. Since Danta is wanted for him, he will naturally also be wanted for Ling Zun. After all, Master Ling was also an accomplice in the murder of Master Dan. If it weren't for the fact that Venerable Ling had severely injured Venerable Dan in advance, it is impossible for Lin Yi to poison the other party easily. More importantly, Lin Yi gave half of the flame spirit art to Ling Zun. This technique can change the qualifications of a cultivator, especially for a spiritual master. It is undoubtedly a coveted treasure. Master Ling's qualifications are indeed good. After all, being able to cultivate to the nascent soul stage itself represents extraordinary talent. However, from the nascent soul stage to the spiritualization stage, like a natural chasm, countless talented people have failed at this level. I think Ling Zun also understands this. That's why he would try to snatch the flame spirit art from Dan Zun at all costs, eager to go further. But Lin Yi felt that he died too quickly, and he couldn't help but reflect. Perhaps it was because he had gained the power of the triangle that he had become so high profile. The two simulations had almost the same outcome. Power can indeed change a person's ambition. When you have many masters under your command, even some old monsters in the nascent soul stage, who can suppress the desire in their heart. However, after ruling the triangle twice, simulation did not have a good reputation. They were even labeled as evil. This forced him to re-examine his strategy. Well, Lin Yi sighed. It seems that the primary goal of the next simulation will be to live longer. Only by living, to predict the future. Only then can you find a glimmer of hope in the crisis-ridden world of immortal cultivation. If he died early like the previous 2 times, I have no idea what happened next. How can we avoid misfortune and seek good fortune? Moreover, we can no longer aim to snatch the spiritual fire. Although the spiritual fire can improve aptitude, but the risks are equally huge. Improve your cultivation and experience more major events in the future. Learning from experience and lessons is the long-term solution. Thinking of this, Lin Yi's eyes fell on his simple cave. Now he is already a Jindan ancestor. It seems a bit inappropriate for me to continue staying in the low-level monks area of Meteorite Market. But, touching the empty purse, he shook his head helplessly again. Now I only have 7,000 spiritual stones. Renting a new cave is another considerable expense. Let's take it slow first. Start simulation. On the first day, you sat in the cave with a frown on your face. The remaining soul of the Dan Master and the gifted junior brother are like 2 sharp swords hanging over your head, ready to fall at any time. And your cousin Lin Hao, who holds a grudge against you after you took away part of his spiritual roots, all kinds of causal entanglements make you walk on thin ice. After much thought, joining Danta seems to be the best option, but it is also full of dangers. Besides, your real goal is the spirit fire, which is a treasure coveted by countless alchemists. How easy is it to get it? The next day, you decided to temporarily become a casual cultivator, keep a low profile, and avoid the plan to steal the Danta spiritual fire. However, the alchemy furnace in your hand has become the biggest problem. This alchemy furnace belongs to the alchemist. His consciousness remains on it, like a huge tracker. It will bring about a fatal disaster sooner or later. After thinking for a long time, you take the alchemy furnace and set off for Wuden town. You wrote a letter and left it in the furnace. On the 3rd day, you strolled along the streets of Wuden town, secretly circulating your spiritual power to completely conceal the aura of the alchemy furnace. But this method consumes a lot of energy and cannot last long. People were coming and going on the street, talking about everything, and the most talked about thing was the rise of the good-for-nothing young master of the Xiao family. It is said that not only did he suddenly regain his talent for cultivation, he also showed amazing alchemy skills, helping the Xiao family win repeatedly in battles with other families. What is even more talked about is that this young master was once broken off by the young lady of the Nalan family, but now he has soared to the top, which is really surprising. You know, this useless guy from the Xiao family is your cheap junior fellow apprentice. It seems that, with the secret help of your master, he has already started his journey as the protagonist. You deposited the alchemy furnace at a reputable auction house in the town, removed your own aura without leaving any trace, and quietly left Wuden town. You placed the alchemy furnace there on purpose. With the cultivation level of the alchemy master, he would be able to quickly sense the location of the alchemy furnace at such a close distance. And inside the furnace, you left a letter. 1 month later, you are already 100,000 miles away from Wooten Town, hiding in the vast sea of people. You intend to keep your name secret, never ask about any past grudges and entanglements, and only seek immortality. In the 2nd month, a kind-looking white-bearded cultivator noticed you and invited you to join him on an overseas adventure. According to the old man, there are many islands scattered across the sea, with many independent cultivators, and many undeveloped islands are full of natural treasures. If you are lucky enough, you may find priceless treasures. You hesitated for a moment, then accepted the old man's invitation. In the 3rd month, you followed the old man across the ocean and arrived at an island filled with fairy air. The island is full of exotic flowers and plants, and rare birds and animals roam around, making it feel like a paradise. You were about to explore this blessed land in depth, but you discovered that dozens of casual cultivators appeared at the edge of the island without knowing when, each with greedy eyes, obviously with ill intentions. Even the old man next to you has stood with the other party without knowing when. These independent cultivators surrounded him like hungry wolves, not hiding their murderous intent. You don't want to cause trouble, so tell them that you can give them 1,000 spirit stones and they will let you go. However, this group of casual cultivators became even more aggressive, clamoring to take away all the treasures on you, and even want to take your life. Feeling the other party's greed and malice, your heart is filled with anger and you no longer suppress the spiritual power in your body. Chapter 038 Sword Cultivation Inheritance. You quickly form seals with your hands and mutter something. A gorgeous 4-colored fire lotus appeared out of thin air, spinning slowly. It emits a terrifying high temperature, causing the surrounding space to distort slightly. The casual cultivators were terrified and wanted to beg for mercy, but the fire lotus suddenly blossomed and turned into a sea of fire that burned the sky and swept out. Amid the deafening explosion, the entire island was razed to the ground in an instant, and even the rocks on the island were melted into rolling magma, emitting suffocating heat waves. Looking at this doomsday-like scene before you, you can't help but feel a little shocked. The power of this 4-colored fire lotus is far beyond your imagination. In the 4th month, you set foot on another island and started a new adventure. However, the peace was soon broken, and you accidentally broke into someone else's territory. A fight is inevitable. This time, you controlled the power of the fire lotus. Accurately kill the island owner who is hostile to you and obtain rich resources. But not long after, a Yuanying stage cultivator suddenly appeared and angrily accused you of killing his disciple. You make a prompt decision and turn around and flee. The other party is furious and is hunting you down. You cleverly chose a large island as your escape route, deliberately angering the masters on the island, causing the Yuanying stage monks who were chasing you to engage in a melee with them. You took the opportunity to escape and successfully got away. In the 6th month, you finally left the dangerous overseas island. I came to a prosperous Xiaoxian market, intending to rest and recuperate. In the 8th month, you heard that a rare treasure was about to be unveiled in a secret place overseas, attracting countless immortal cultivators to covet it. You join a group of independent cultivators, ready to go together to explore this legendary treasure. In the following simulations, he traveled across the ocean again and again, set foot on different overseas fairy islands and explore unknown areas. There are dangers everywhere on the island. He had been betrayed by his companions, and someone had set traps with magic weapons and spiritual objects from heaven and earth to lure him to explore, but in fact they had already ambushed him and were waiting to rob him. Some independent cultivators would even use young cultivators in the chi refining stage with low cultivation. Levels to spread the news. Invite him to go on an overseas adventure to search for treasures. In fact, a large number of experts were lying in ambush in secret, waiting for an opportunity to attack. Backstabbed again and again, traps set one after another. He gradually learned and became more mature. He is not alone in this cruel simulation. After several years of wandering abroad, he made several like-minded friends. They fought side by side and explored the overseas world full of unknowns and dangers. Years of fighting sharpened his mind and also accumulated rich experience. Although his cultivation level still remained at the middle stage of Jindan and he had not been able to break through to the late stage, he had improved a lot. Through this simulated experience, Lin Yi deeply understood why independent cultivators were not welcomed by others. Intrigue and deception, the law of the jungle, scramble for resources, frame up. The world of independent cultivators is filled with all kinds of conspiracies and darkness. The lack of resources forced the independent cultivators to fight each other and form gangs for survival. They even do not hesitate to rob other lone cultivators or disciples of the sect. Some immortal cultivators' behavior is no different from that of demons. In the 8th year, you found a peaceful place among the scattered islands, and devoted yourself to refining the elixir and improving your cultivation. In the 9th year, your alchemy skills have become increasingly sophisticated, and the fragrance of the elixir has spread, attracting the covetousness of various forces. You are well aware of the principle that a tall tree attracts the wind, so you quietly leave the sea area and flee to a more remote place. In the 10th year, you happened to meet a few cultivators who came to practice, and you learned from them about the recent turmoil in the world of immortal cultivation. The Purple Cloud sect's treasure, the Purple Cloud Divine Fire, was stolen by a cultivator named Xiao Han. The Ghost Spirit sect has been conquering everywhere and annexing small and medium-sized immortal sects. Its arrogant behavior has aroused the anger of the immortals. In the 15th year, you stay away from disputes, concentrate on refining the elixir and practicing, and don't care about worldly affairs. In the 25th year, your cultivation has become more and more profound, but the long-term seclusion has almost isolated you from the outside world, and you know nothing about the changes in the world of cultivation. In the 30th year, the power of the Ghost Spirit sect spread overseas like a plague. Even if you are in a remote sea area 300,000 or 400,000 miles away from the Ghost Spirit sect, there are still demon disciples under the Ghost Spirit sect. These demonic cultivators not only burn, kill, and rob, committing all kinds of evil, but also kill cultivators whenever they see them, with extremely cruel methods. You wanted to flee once again, but then you heard that your best friends who once fought alongside you were killed by the Ghost Spirit sect. In grief and anger, you resolutely decide not to escape anymore, and step forward to fight these evil disciples to the death. In the 55th year, after decades of bloody battles, you finally broke through and entered the late stage of Jindan. Your fame spreads across the world, and countless independent cultivators regard you as a role model and respect you as a hero. However, if a tree stands out in the forest, the wind will destroy it. Your sharp edge has finally attracted the fear of the old monster of the demonic Yuanying. In the 57th year, you accidentally fell into a secret cave while trying to avoid being hunted down by the nascent soul demon. After some exploration, I discovered that this place was the remains of a sword cultivator who had transformed into a spirit. In the 60th year, you devoted yourself to cultivation and finally inherited the sword cultivation tradition. 3 sharp sword energies and a volume of peerless sword tactics. 10,000 swords returned to the origin. In the 64th year, you traveled around the world, honing your sword skills and slaying every demon you met. With the supreme power of 10,000 swords returning to the origin, the sword energy is overwhelming and unstoppable. Even a demon cultivator at the peak of Jindan would be unable to withstand the power of your two swords. Your fame has risen, but you are once again hunted down by the nascent soul demon. You and several of your fellow immortals are trapped in a formation by the old demon. At this critical moment, you all work together to set up the Six Talents formation and jointly resist the fierce attack of the Yuanying old demon. The 6 people worked together, the formation was in operation, the light was brilliant, the spiritual energy was like a tide, the momentum was so great that they actually blocked the attack of the Yuanying old demon. In the 69th year, you are once again targeted by the nascent soul demon. At the critical moment of life and death, you activated the sword energy left by the sword cultivator of the divine transformation realm. Instantly, the sword light shot up into the sky, illuminating 1,000 miles, and heavy rain poured down. But this rain is not ordinary rain, but sword rain condensed from pure sword energy. You finally understand what it means for all the swords to return to their origin. 10,000 swords were fired at the same time, and every drop of rain turned into sharp sword light, covering the sky and the earth, unstoppable. Under the dense rain of swords, the old demon Yuanying was instantly riddled with wounds and was powerless to recover. After this battle, you will officially embark on the path of sword cultivation. You will also be able to split the sword light and attack with unparalleled force. In the 71st year, news came that the Purple Cloud sect was brutally wiped out by the Ghost Spirit sect, and no one in the sect was spared, even the sect's god transformation ancestor had disappeared without a trace. The terrifying power of the Ghost Spirit sect deeply shocked you. Chapter 039, 400 Years. In the 80th year, Tianxian Dao Palace, another immortal sect, was destroyed by the clutches of the Ghost Spirit sect. In the 81st year, your cultivation has reached the peak of the Jindan stage, and you are only one step away from the Yuanying stage. The Four Seas Immortal Alliance finally tore off its disguise and claimed to be a force under the Ghost Spirit sect. The various sects of the demonic path, including the Five Poison sect, the Joyous Alliance sect, the Demonic Flame sect, etc., all submitted to the Ghost Spirit sect, and for a time, the demonic flames were raging. The power of the Ghost Spirit sect is at its peak, countless immortal sects are slaughtered, and the survivors flee overseas for refuge. In the 90th year, the Dan Tower was destroyed, and the Ghost Spirit sect became more powerful than ever, causing fear among the immortal cultivators. More and more sects and monks are fleeing overseas for refuge. Immediately, the local monks and the monks who had fled formed an alliance and worked together to fight against the expansion of the Ghost Spirit sect. In the 95th year, as the number of immortal cultivators continued to increase, the resources in this sea area became increasingly scarce, and the ecology was worrying. In the 99th year, the Ghost Spirit sect's offensive was blocked by a force called the Buletin Tian League. And the situation suddenly changed. It is reported that when the ancestor of the Ghost Spirit sect was trying to break through the Buletin Tian League, he was accidentally stopped by a powerful vine. The two sides engaged in a fierce battle, and in the end the Ghost Spirit sect's ancestor was seriously injured and retreated. After 100 years of oppression and hunting by the Ghost Spirit sect, the immortal monks finally saw the dawn of victory. Lin Hao, the leader of the Buletin Tian League, is an old monster at the peak of the nascent soul stage. Finally, a month later, he successfully broke through to the spiritual transformation realm and began to lead the counterattack. Under the call of the Buletin Tian League, many monks who had fled overseas chose to return. Work together to fight against the brutal rule of the Ghost Spirit sect. When you heard the news, you felt shocked and lost. The former cousins should join hands to fight against foreign enemies. However, because your mother deprived the other person of his spiritual roots, an irreconcilable hatred was formed between you. In the 100th year, Xiao Han successfully broke through the spiritual transformation stage. He integrated the power of the entire triangle area, joined hands with many powerful sects, and attacked the Ghost Spirit sect. The immortal sect rises again, and the Ghost Spirit sect that has troubled the entire immortal cultivation world for 100 years has finally come to an end. The whereabouts of the Ghost Spirit sect's ancestor is unknown, and there are different rumors about him. Some say he has fallen, while others believe he is lurking in the dark, waiting for an opportunity to strike. However, the current leader of the immortal path is firmly in the hands of these two people. One is Lin Hao, the leader of the Bulletin Tian League, who has powerful subordinates. As a powerful god, his strength is beyond reproach, and he is supported by a mysterious and powerful person behind him. The second is Xiao Han, who founded the Xiao Alliance and gathered the forces in the Triangle region. Behind him, he has the great help of the Alchemy Master and the Fire Master, and especially the support of the powerful Alchemy Valley, which enables him to occupy a place in the world of immortal cultivation. In the 120th year, facing the duo of Xiao Han and Lin Hao, you deeply feel the insufficiency of your own strength. Decided to shut himself up in seclusion, concentrate on cultivation, and strive to break through the nascent soul stage. In the 165th year, you are still at the peak of the Jindan stage. After decades of hard training, there was no progress and the opportunity to break through to the nascent soul stage never appeared. You feel depressed and decide to leave the cave and travel around the world to seek a chance for a breakthrough. The 230th year, your long journey has not brought any hope of a breakthrough, and you still have not been able to glimpse the path to the nascent soul. Perhaps, there is a divine will in the dark. Instead of desperately pursuing that illusory realm, it is better to establish a school and pass on what you have learned throughout your life. In the 380th year, you founded a sect, recruited many disciples, taught them everything you knew, and hundreds of disciples grew up strong and healthy under your guidance. In the 420th year, one of your disciples finally broke through to the Jindan stage. While you feel relieved, you also feel that your end is approaching. You arrange the sect affairs one by one, and then start preparing to force the formation of the infant. In the 430th year, you sit cross-legged and mobilize all your spiritual power to attack the nascent soul barrier. Several thunderbolts suddenly struck you, and you held on to your seriously injured body. Finally, a broken nascent soul condensed in Danshan. However, the price of forcing a breakthrough is huge. Your lifespan will decrease instead of increase, and the broken nascent soul will drain your energy. In the 440th year, you quietly sat in meditation in a secret room, and a legend came to an end. The simulation ends. Start calculating this reward. In this simulation, you have raised your realm to the peak of Jindan, and forcibly condensed the nascent soul realm. You can get one of the following rewards. 1. Peak level of Jindan cultivation. 2. The broken nascent soul stage. 3. This simulation experience. 40000 to 60,000 low-grade spirit stones. 5. 2 sword energies from the sword immortals. 6th, 10,000 swords technique. Number of simulations remaining, 0. Call. Lin Yi let out a long breath. Complex emotions surged in my chest. Logically speaking, the improvement in realm during this simulation is worth celebrating. But it left him with mixed feelings. He saw the ending behind. Especially since Xiao Han achieved the state of incarnation, unified the Triangle region, and gained the support of Dan Valley. The Triangle domain was originally a force that he could control in the simulation, but this time it fell into Xiao Han's hands. It seems that the future is not set in stone. Every choice in the simulation may change the final outcome. But this is not the most important thing. The most important thing is Lin Hao. This cousin's background was far more terrifying than he had imagined. The ghost spirit sect almost destroyed the entire immortal path, but was ultimately defeated by Lin Hao. The strange vine behind him. What exactly is it? Hundreds of years of the Sims, in the blink of an eye. Lin Yi sighed. Although he lived a long time this time, he still couldn't find out the details behind Lin Hao. Nearly 500 years. The exact strength of the existence behind the other party remains a mystery. Anyone who can severely injure the ancestor of the ghost spirit sect must be at least a top-notch expert. And Lin Hao, in just a few hundred years, reached the spiritual transformation stage from the Qi training stage. Such a terrifying promotion speed is really scary. Oh, how enviable! Lin Yi murmured to himself, why didn't he have such a powerful backer? His eyes fell on the 6 options in front of him, and he was unable to make a decision. What is the situation of this broken nascent soul realm? Note, you can choose to inherit or give up this nascent soul realm. Choosing to inherit this nascent soul stage will lead to the complete destruction of your foundation, and you will never make any further progress. If you choose to give up, you will get one more option. It's quite humane. Lin Yi had a smile on his face. Originally, he had not planned to choose the nascent soul stage. Although I have chosen, I can immediately achieve the nascent soul stage. But this is a broken nascent soul. After selection, it also guarantees your future. It will be impossible to make any further progress in this life. Chapter 040 Weird Vines. I give up the second option, the nascent soul stage. Ding, you get a choice. You can choose once at a cost of 10,000 spiritual stones. You can get 2 of them in the following rewards. 1. Peak level of Jindan cultivation. 2. This simulation experience. 360000 low-grade spirit stones. 4th, 2 sword energies from the sword immortals. 5. 10,000 swords technique. Lin Yi's eyes wandered over the 5 options. This time the best option. They should be the sword energies of 2 sword immortals. There is also the strength of the peak of Jindan. But now Lin Yi feels very embarrassed. Because he didn't have enough spirit stones. At present, the total cost is just over 6,900. He will not give up his strength at the peak of Jindan. Because this is the key. Oh, so poor. If you choose 2 divine sword energies, plus the strength of the peak Jindan stage. At this moment, he could walk up to Dan Zun with a swagger. Then, with his strength at the peak of the Jindan stage, he killed Xiao Han instantly. Then use sword energy to kill Dan Zun. Then the danger is completely resolved. Help me choose 3. As soon as he finished speaking, a pile of spirit stones suddenly appeared in front of him. Looking at this pile of spirit stones, Lin Yi felt unusually relieved. This is also the largest amount of spirit stones I have ever obtained. Then, he chose the strength of the peak of Jindan. In an instant, huge amounts of energy filled the body. His strength increased from the middle stage of Jindan to the late stage of Jindan. Then from the late stage of Jindan, reach the peak of Jindan. Feeling the surging magic power in his body, Lin Yi clenched his fists, his eyes filled with light. Cool. This feeling of improved strength made Lin Yi very happy. After calming down, he recharged another 1,000 spirit stones and then clicked on the simulation. Simulation starts. In the first month, you will stay in the room you rented in Meteorite Square to consolidate your realm. The rich spiritual energy of heaven and earth surrounds your body, nourishing your meridians like a trickle of water, making you feel extremely comfortable. You take out some elixirs that you bought in the market to assist in cultivation, swallow them, refine them, and consolidate your foundation. In the second month, you are still in seclusion, consolidating your rapidly increasing cultivation. You tried to practice several sets of sword techniques you bought from the market, but you were not satisfied with any of them. Although these sword techniques are exquisite, they are not suitable for you. In the 3rd month, you took out the alchemy furnace and walked to the Sahai Chamber of Commerce in the meteorite market. You found Zhao Dabao, the head of the Sahai Chamber of Commerce in Meteorite City. You have suppressed your cultivation to the 4th level of Qi refining, like a novice in cultivating immortals, who has not experienced much in the world. When Zhao Dabao saw the alchemy furnace, his eyes lit up, and he showed his greed without hiding it. He looked you up and down, pretending to be calm and asking you about the origin of the furnace. You lied and said you found it by chance from an ancient relic. He also exaggerated the danger of the ruins, and how you narrowly escaped death. Zhao Dabao's face suddenly changed when he heard this, and a hint of viciousness flashed in his eyes. He praised you for your good fortune with a fake smile, and then calmly crushed a communication talisman. You sneered in your heart, but remained calm on the surface. Instead, you chatted with Zhao Dabao with great interest, trying to find out if there is any connection between the Sahai Chamber of Commerce and the Danzun. After a while, several disciples dressed in the uniforms of the Four Seas Immortal Alliance rushed in aggressively and wanted to capture you without any explanation. You pretend to be confused and ask loudly, "Why are you arresting me? What crime have I committed?" Zhao Dabao sneered, "You stole the magic weapon of my Four Seas Immortal Alliance and caught you red-handed. What else is there to say? Just follow us obediently." At this point, you understand clearly that there seems to be no direct connection between the Sahai Chamber of Commerce and the Danzun. At least that's what it looks like on the surface. Lin Yi frowned, puzzled. If Danzun has no relationship with the Four Seas Immortal Alliance, why in a previous simulation will the people from the Four Seas Immortal Alliance capture Xia Xiaochan? What is the connection? Is it just a coincidence? With doubts, Lin Yi continued to watch the simulation content. You no longer hide, and instantly release the pressure of the peak of Jindan, shocking the whole audience. Zhao Dabao and the others' faces changed drastically. You snorted coldly, summoned your flying sword, and killed several disciples. You grab Zhao Dabao and force him to tell you about Danzun and Xiao Han. Zhao Dabao was so frightened that his soul flew out of his body. He begged for mercy immediately, claiming that he had never heard of these two people. He just saw that your cultivation was low and became greedy. For a moment, you knew he was not lying, so you ended his life. You leave a note in the furnace and put it in the consignment shop. Then he left the meteorite market and headed to the ghost spirit sect's sphere of influence, intending to investigate the reason for their sudden rise. In the 4th month, you hide your identity and disguise yourself as a demon cultivator. He suppressed his cultivation to the late stage of foundation building and used demonic energy to conceal his true identity. In the 5th month, you meet a magic cultivator named Lin Hao, who invites you to explore the secret realm together. This name surprises you because he has the same name as your cousin. After a little consideration, you accepted his invitation. In the 5th month, you and Lin Hao go deep into the secret realm. A thick demonic aura permeates the air. All kinds of strange monsters lurk in the shadows, making creepy roars. You have fought through countless monsters along the way. Lin Hao's fighting style shocked you. Although he is only at the foundation building stage, his body is extremely strong. Every time he strikes, his power is as strong and powerful as that of a cultivator in the Jindan stage. He fought the monsters with his bare hands, and remained unscathed even when facing the sharp claws and fangs of high-level monsters, as if he were an indestructible body of diamond. What's even more incredible is that he actually let you roast the monster he killed with spiritual fire, and then feast on it. During this period, you are also invited to share. You excused yourself from having a stomach upset and declined his invitation, but your heart was filled with doubts and caution. In the 7th month, you encountered a tiger-shaped old demon at the peak of the Jindan stage. This old demon is extremely powerful and his demonic energy is overwhelming. When the claws are swung, they are enough to tear the space apart. Just when you are ready to fight to the death, something unexpected happens. The old demon was tripped by a vine that appeared out of nowhere, revealing his weakness. Lin Hao seized the opportunity and smashed the old demon's head with one punch. You suppress the shock in your heart and pretend to be calm while praising your good luck. Afterwards, Lin Hao disassembled the old demon's body again and gave it to you to roast and enjoy alone. You observe all this silently, and your heart becomes more and more shocked.